Good Monday morning, everybody. Welcome back to another shit show that is WhaleWatch. We're hanging out, watching markets bounce quite a bit. I saw that the NASDAQ in the overnight session kept chugging dicks. We dropped below 29,000 on the NASDAQ, and we're up 2% total overnight session pre-market combined here. Still pushing, too. It doesn't look like they're going to give us another repeat of Friday's show where we just nailed short after short after short after short after short.
That was fun. Friday was fun.
Friday was fun. If you guys missed Friday's episode, check that out. It's over on the Unusual Whales YouTube channel, and it'll stay there permanently. And if you're unawares, we have an office hours website now as well that takes everything from our trading show here, where we're trading tools live on Unusual Whales, to Snorlax UW's much more informational shows. Let me just flip over to our screens here so you can see what the hell I'm talking about. Bada bing. Everything's linked. You can even add calendar notifications for yourself. This one right here, every Wednesday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern. That's going to be your important one if you're a beginner with the site. On this day, right after the morning trading show, Snorlax UW goes live, does some walkthroughs of the site, a little bit of an onboarding session for new users to the site. Even if you're a seasoned user, these are good to go to. So add that bad boy to your Google or Outlook/Apple Calendar and join in on that if you're looking for a little bit more of a beginner-friendly primer. And on Thursday afternoons, we also right here on Twitter, YouTube, and Substack, as well as the Unusual Whales Discord, Snorlax does another show where he takes a plethora of flow reviews, breakdowns, walkthroughs, what have you. But that bad boy on Wednesday, that will be the true beginner-friendly show, and I can't recommend going to the Unusual Whales office hours enough. Definitely check that out. Let me get this out of here. Let's go ahead and dive right into some pre-market pulse shit, man. Let's start looking at some open interest changes from Friday.
Yeah, man, my filter is just picking up all puts pretty much that carried over into Friday. Just short dated, very far out of the money puts. So I'm not wondering if a lot of these people just, came in end of Friday. I mean, like, look at that, 47% out of the money like this. I think they were taking advantage of that dip there and
and it's pennies.
selling some long dated, or not long dated, short dated out of the money puts there. I mean, they're 5 cents there. I mean, it's not actionable there, but hey,
and that full 30,000 carried over. I'm with you. I think they took advantage of the Friday market wide shit the bed scenario, and shit the bed we did. NASDAQ ended up like well below 4% down, which was by far the worst day of the year for the NASDAQ.
I think it was since October of last year, I think. Or April.
So.
I don't know. I saw it after Friday when the market closes on Friday. I'm just okay, I'm done. I don't care. But yeah, I mean, you see those 5 cent, 47% out of the money. You know what do you think the odds are of this? What do you think the odds are of this? Probably not very likely. And yeah, again, IREN as well here too. Again, 42% out of the money, 16 cents. And look at the premium they're going to collect on that thing though, 496K there. So I always think selling premium is pretty underrated. It's especially these 42%. You typically aren't gonna sweat too much on something like that. I mean, what are the odds? Obviously, anything can happen, but
And some of these names we've seen the crazy shit. Poet's still a hot topic in both directions. A little roller coaster, but pretty much up and to the right as well. Nokia, obviously. Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah, that's
BlackBerry,
those Nokia puts we found. I think it was Wednesday actually. Yeah, they had a good move there. But yeah, look, another Nvidia 4-day out, 43% out of the money. I have a hard time seeing Nvidia fall 43%.
Yeah, I think somebody, and again, over 20,000 contracts, this time 25,000, full-blown carried over. It says 100% ask side, but this is where that context becomes pretty important. Yeah, we're looking at it at ask side, but What's more realistic here? Somebody collecting
Yeah,
premium and
just
pocketing $2 per contract across 30,000 contracts on something that's Nvidia's not going to dump like that by Friday. I'd be hard pressed to believe that, even if we get like back to back what happened Friday. I'd be pretty hard pressed to believe we're going to drop 40-something% on Nvidia. Most likely premium grabs.
And by the time they open, anyways, they're going to be worthless. I mean,
Yeah.
they just 2 cents on there on them, and they're priced at 2 cents. I mean, you got 2 days of theta decay. It's funny because you usually see these come in on a Friday. You know, those weekly 30-40% out of the money ask side puts, so on there. I always find it interesting to see that. But yeah, that's pretty much what most of my feed looks to kind of be like. AMD 612 285 put 42% out of the money. You know, it's not it's not actionable there. It's, you see that come over before a weekend. That's, yeah. Like if we look at let's just look at the Greeks on this one for
I will say the way Friday closed, I
helmet.
wasn't planning on entering any option swings
No.
over the weekend.
No.
We had plenty of war shit going on. Bombed the hell out of Israel. They say that they're done for now. We'll see. We've heard that a lot lately.
I don't trust any headline right now. I've told everybody, like, you know, you can say stuff, but like until everything's like, you know, sat down, finalized it, then I'll believe it. Even then, still, you know, it's
once
trading
Midwest
off
gas stops being priced like West Coast gas, we can have a conversation.
Hey, it dropped to like 360 here. I mean,
yeah, saying it dropped to 360 is crazy.
Yeah, that's bad. But yeah, like look at the AMDs there. Look at that delta on this thing. Barely any delta. That theta is just gonna eat those contracts away very, very quickly. So like, you know, just kind of understanding that, kind of just basic beginner context on contracts. They're like, you know, it might look bad, like, hey, oh my God, somebody's buying 42% out of the money AMD puts for next week. Yeah, yes, it might be interesting, but it's probably not gonna work out. And even if AMD drop, let's just say like 6% there. I mean, yes, you might see a little profit on the contracts, but
it's going to be a little inconsequential in the grand scheme.
Yeah,
those are. Yeah. I'm going to say it. You know what? I'm going to say something really controversial. Those are going to expire worthless.
Yeah.
I know it's really controversial that AMD won't trade at 285 by this Friday. I'm going to say those expire worthless, and those are sells as well.
I think I'll go out on a limb with you too and say the Intel's, IREN's, NVIDIA, AMD, and NVIDIA. This NVIDIA, yeah. I'll probably go out on a limb here and say, you know, they're probably going to expire worthless. That 2 day out, 19% of the money. Like, you know, it's a little closer to the money, but still 2 days, 19%. These expire Wednesday. So, like, you know, you don't even have the full week on those. So theta is even worse on these. Like, these
I don't know that the market's dumping right now, Alex. In Substack right now, we're bouncing pretty handedly. We haven't reclaimed what we lost on Friday. Don't get me wrong, far from it. But I mean, it's up like 600 points from the overnight session lows. That's a bounce, if you ask me. 972 up to the 570s. That is a 600 point bounce in the NASDAQ. I'll just flash my NASDAQ chart here on screen. I mean, here's our overnight session. They got pretty damn low, man. Way down to the 970s. And that recovery, presumably on, hey, we're done bombing shit news, which again, I don't know if I believe it. Instant reclaim from there of my 29,181 level. They kind of coiled around it for a couple of hours. Came down, back tested it twice again, broke out again, reclaimed my 310 level, and pretty much everything in between there and where we are now. I don't really have another big level until above 30,000. So if anybody else has any NASDAQ levels in this massive range from 413 to above 30,000, let me know and we'll take a look at it. I don't have anything key in here. Might be some levels I'm missing, though. Most of my levels are drawn on an intraday basis. I trade on the 1 minute. I don't really chart above the 15 all that much. So if any of you longer-term homies got any levels in here, let us know in whatever chat you're hanging out in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel
Yes,
that, Alex,
please
for
do.
sure. We got
Yeah,
CPI coming up too. You're right.
CPI,
Tomorrow,
PPI,
right?
Wednesday, I
Wednesday?
believe.
Oh, maybe we'll get
I
some
think.
fun fireworks Wednesday then for the Wednesday morning
Yeah, I think
show.
yeah, Wednesday's CPI and then PPI is Thursday.
We
God,
do have, I am curious. Let me make sure something here. I don't know that this is optionable, but I'm going to find out here in a second. I'd be hard pressed to believe it is because it is kind of textbook definition penny stock here. Yeah,
oh
I don't
boy.
think GPUs is optionable, but you are right. It's up 30% pre-market. I just want to point out for something that is literally 15 cents per share, that's 4 cents that it's up for that 30%. Be really careful with stuff like that. Granted, this one's not optionable, so you're not taking undue crazy risks. At 15 cents per share, even I would take a fucking flyer on that just cuz. And now, now it's down 13% because it moved 2 pennies. Like, you gotta be careful with those penny stocks. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's over the last month or so up about 10 cents, then back down, then back in. Yeah, it's a dangerous one, but I mean it's cheap as shit. Hyperscale data is who we're talking about here. I tend to avoid shit that has under 100 million market cap for sure. That could be the most easily manipulated thing by anybody with a shitload of money. Somebody did want to look. Now, Alex, you asked for that SPY put. Is that what you're in, or you just want to take a look at it? Because we can take a look at that. The 675 put for June 18th. We can pop that
Yeah,
open,
let
see if anything
me.
crazy happened with that. SPY flow can be kind of messy and hard to read, but sometimes we get something really clear come through. Let's see if this is
You
one
said
of those examples.
675
675.
for August. 8:30, 8:21. I'm gonna assume.
June 18th was the specific one that he was looking at.
Oh, June 18th. Why did you? Ooh, it's gonna be one of those episodes, huh? Jesus,
There,
I
it's right
put
there
in
at
too much
top,
money on
homie.
Jesus.
It's the
Yes,
first.
I see it now. It's gonna be one of those days. It's gonna be one of those days. Let's
Small
take a
new
peek here. So,
position from Friday, but nothing doing as far as clear
yeah,
flow on it. That might just be his position.
yeah, a lot of open interest on this. I just want to see if it kind of came in one big chunk. This has been kind of sitting in there for a while there, and we did kind of have some
Misreports going on.
modifications. Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, this has
there's
been.
nothing super clear about positioning in this bad
Let's
boy.
just
Now that
pop this.
said, depending on how CPI comes in, I wouldn't call this an impossible thing personally. It's pretty
Yeah,
far out the money for such short term, but honestly, if you were to get a pretty sharp move down within the next 2 days, you can get some profit on this. I don't know about it going in the money or not, but the way shit's happening internationally, depending on how CPI comes in, if it's really, really, really hot, I could see it. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the market's probably expecting a hot print, but just depends how hot and all that fun stuff. But yeah, I mean, like you see this one here, there's just a lot going on in here. There's not really a clear whale sticking out to me on this one. Even this one back here, the 12K on 429. If you just let's pop this, let's go up to 429. If you look at all that volume on the day, you only had a third of that carryover anyway. So I mean, there's just so much going on in this specific chain. I probably wouldn't look for a specific whale on this one. And kind
nah.
of like Nick was saying too, SPY, those ETFs, QQQ, IWM, all those, even indexes, they have so much flow on there because they're so heavily traded, especially on a 0 day. Like you typically aren't going to find a singular whale. You do every once in a while, but it's more rare because they're so heavily traded. They have so much open interest on them. It's almost easier just to kind of just follow an individual name there too.
You should just for shits and giggles, we got about 7 minutes to the open. We'll be able to see if we can put on some gamma level scalps for y'all. But beforehand, if you want to pop open Mr. Whale, As we already kind of looked at, some of the main open interest changes we saw were most likely premium grabs going into the weekend. People selling puts, most likely on a lot of those names, especially those really far out of the money NVIDIA puts. Odds are those were not bought to open.
No.
But let's ask Mr. Whale if there were any particularly clear bullish opening positions. And then give it just some of your normal criteria that you like to use for bullish opening side trades.
Let's see.
Man, the typos are already coming out. You love to see it.
Dude, it's early. Percent ask side. Let's do 25K premium. Let's see, what am I fancy? Okay, so okay.
Oh,
Right,
and
we'll
for those of you unawares, Mr. Whale is gonna have super flow functionality soon. If it doesn't already, let me double check our dev chat to see if I missed that. But I finally did pump in a couple of Superflow articles for it. Like 2 years too late, I'll be honest. I made the Superflow video like 2 years ago and didn't do a coinciding article. I did that on Friday, so there's now a coinciding article. All right, let's see what we got.
Well,
see what we
pulling
got.
up some here. Trade on the ask side before we look opening. So these trades are so I like how they always put in the little note there too with it. So if you're new, you can actually learn that way too, instead of it just saying, "Oh, here's your contracts." But yeah, let's look at these SMH, the 918-570 call. These, yeah, clean opening trade, but I don't know why I click back to. I do that all the time in pre-market. I'll go back to 2 days because I'm just so used to it being, the previous session there. Yeah, I'd say probably specifically on this one. Not. Let me take out that multi-leg thing too. Let me take out multi-leg. Let me go back to Mr. Whale. Hold on. No more than 20% multi-leg. All right, we'll see if it gives us anything else there. I don't want multi-leg. I do not want multi-leg.
Yeah, I imagine we had some weird shit in the multi-leg realm on Friday with all that. A lot of hedging and SPY contracts is what I was seeing. Pretty neutral positioning in the spreads Friday that I saw. But, I mean, obviously during the day, it was just bearish flow across the board. Shit was on fire.
Yeah.
We had some good fun on the show. Pretty much every level we predicted in the pre-market session going into open on Friday, all of them hit and lower. We went all the way down to 73.70 intraday, dude. 7,400 was like our line in the sand that morning, and they went 30 points lower.
Yeah, that was that I was kind of surprised at how far we dropped.
It was something.
Yeah, that was.
I will say, when I saw how far down the NASDAQ ended up, what was it, like half an hour before close, we hit the bottom.
Yeah.
I was a little upset that we caught 60 points when it went down like 700.
Yeah. That's okay though. Nobody's gonna.
We got a nibble.
Nobody's gonna know. Nobody's gonna know. It's gonna go down that much.
Periscope was showing us how far they could go, and they sure as shit did. They sure as shit did,
well,
man.
like, and I mean, you heard me keep saying it on the show too. I'm like, I don't want to chase. We're already down this much, and then another 0.5% later, I'm like, man, we're still going. I don't want to keep chasing. Like because I mean, that thing can just turn around and rip so
Friday was
fast.
fun.
But Friday was crazy. But yeah, let's pop in some of these here
Mr.
quick
Whale?
before. So RDW, the 10 call for 612. This looks a little better. They're smaller whale there, pretty deep in the money there. I probably should have fixed that out of the money too, but we'll just kind of move on here quick because we're gonna open soon. QQQ. Did I not say no ETFs? Am I crazy? I don't think I did say no ETFs. I didn't. Okay, well let's look at the QQQ one then.
Hey, be careful when looking at specifically open interest, Alex. You got to kind of look at how that open interest came to be. 200,000 open interest on a SPY contract is quite a bit, but it's not unheard of for SPY. That open interest could be half sold to open, and then it would still look crazy because it's 200 open interest. That's not necessarily indicative of anything itself alone. Got to use that context too.
And even if it was like one person before or two for the open interest, they can pass contracts off. So like if somebody was in, let's just say 10,000 contracts, you saw another 10,000 traded the next day, there's no change in that open interest. You might just be, if you're just looking at the open interest, you're going to think, okay, well, that first person's still in. So kind of pay attention to the volume and open interest
And
on those big
notably, the
ones.
contract you're referencing. Oh, you said the 530. I was looking at the 580. Spot. You can continue looking at that PRGO if you want. I'm going to pull
good.
up
I'm
this
just looking
530
here.
put.
Yeah, a little wider spread here. I'm not really seeing. I don't like that IV drop.
Because
that price is going up.
My brother, 530 is really far, really far out of the money.
Yeah,
and even here, I'm actually going to look at this really quick just to give some context on this bad boy. Look at all of that volume back on April 17th. 200,000 volume on that contract you're talking about, that $530 put for 618. These were shorted. These were sold to open. So that goes back to what I was saying. Don't get too crazy gung-ho just on the open interest alone. How that open interest came to be is important. On top of that, all 200,000 of that initial size is also part of a multi-leg, a big one. We're looking at 3 separate strikes here. Here's the 580 that I was looking at to begin with. The majority of these contracts are filling at the bid, but it's really hard to gauge because of those bid-ask spreads. This is a perfect mid-fill on these 480s. But let's be real here. Do you think the SPY in the next 10 days is going to drop $200? I don't know that I do. And again, all of those were in at the bid. The likelihood of these being bought to open and being extremely bearish just on the surface here is increasingly unlikely when you see them transacting at the bid. It's more likely that within this crazy shit show of a spread we've got going on here, these 530s were most likely sold to open, not bought to open. So yes, it has massive open interest right now. No, I don't think it's indicative of a $200 crash in the SPY in the next 10 days. And right here, where was it? April 17th. April 17th. Right there. There's where we're in. And we've been towing around that amount of open interest, which, in my opinion, still gives more credit to these eventually expiring worthless. I think these are short. I don't think that's particularly telling.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that one there. Yeah, I think if SPY's dropping $200 in 9 days, we probably have a bigger
We've
issue
got a broader
going
issue.
on. Then yeah, probably not the best. Hey, is your Periscope loading for you, or is it kind of?
I haven't even gone there yet. Yeah, it looks like we are missing our gamma bars. I'll pop over to the dev chat. But yeah, context matters, man. You can have a shitload of open interest, and a lot of it might not really mean anything.
Yeah, I remember when I started trading too, I'd have a lot of people say, "There's so much open interest on this particular strike." Like, yeah, it could be interesting if it's a singular trader, but I see a lot of people talking about it like, "Oh, there's this many open interest contracts on like SPY 1018 call," and I'm like, now looking back, like and that's the thing, like you got to kind of be cautious of like who you listen to and all that, because they might not be teaching you the right way. There's a lot of free good channels out there. Just join into us every day, or not every day, but every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I mean, I feel like we do a good job teaching the correct way, even though we mess around most of the show, but
the vast majority of the show, let's be honest.
Yes,
we're getting a nice pullback in the NASDAQ off the open here as well. I'm going to keep an eye out on the dev team. They're working on that Periscope. So if you have Periscope and your bars aren't loading, they're working on it. Don't you worry. Sometimes we have some weird shit with the data provider right out the open. Yep, they're already on it. So that'll be ready for us here. I really like that rejection off the open. I'm going to be keeping an eye as they kind of come down to backtest some of these rejection points in the overnight session, basically right around my 415 level here. If they get a good backtest and hold in this 20-point range, I might try to bottom ticket. Otherwise, I'm already putting on my short cap, and I'm looking for a backtest up in this little range we set going into open. I want a backtest of that with a rejection, and then I'll probably join them to the downside. But right now, I'm not going to chase. I also want my gamma levels for context. So we're going to be patient, wait for that to update. We're already right on top of that shelf from pre-market. We're right on it. I'm going to look for buyers to try to step in. If they just sweep this down and start giving that 415 down here as resistance, I'm going to have to short. I'll have to do it. We'll have
There
to
you
do
go.
it to them.
So, since we're waiting for Periscope to update here, I just want to show everybody, since we're open now, to just kind of what happened to those far out of the money contracts over the weekend. So, oof, Intel's up 9%. Yeah, I mean, these were at 5. I mean, they're trading. They're pretty much worthless right now. I mean, 2 cents there, you're gonna fill at 1 cent. So I mean, that trades. I mean, would again there make sense that it
Until
was
with
a
a
sell, especially.
10% bounce this morning, though.
Yeah,
Let's
that's
fucking
insane.
go, dude.
I
And
ran
one thing I
too.
wanted
Just
to add as well about that SPY thing, yeah, the put call ratio is really inflated, but again, just like we looked at that 530 put being 100% at the bid, put call ratio to me is basically worthless without that context. You can have 50,000 puts in one call, and that looks crazy, right? 50,000 to 1, that's batshit. But if those puts were sold to open, that's a bullish indicator, not a bearish one. So the put call ratio to me is worthless as shit unless you know how those puts and calls transacted. And that's what Unusual Whales is for, baby. Shameless plug.
it's gonna sound bad, but I can't tell you the last time I actually looked at a put call ratio on a name. I mean,
if you go back far enough in time, you'll see our main flow guy, Snorlax UW, just going at people who sensationalize the put call ratio. Oh my god, I love it. But yeah, the context matters more than the raw numbers. Is I guess what I'm saying there. Kevin Hawthorne says, good morning from Lakeland, Florida. Morning, homie. Thanks for joining us on YouTube.
Good morning.
I am trying to get our YouTube to be closer to what we see on our Twitter stream. So thanks for hanging out with us, man. I would love to get our YouTube popping again. Thanks for coming.
Yes.
We'll, as always, guys, we'll be taking flow requests during the entire show. We'll just interrupt each other a bunch as we take trades. Snorlax's streams are just straight up flow, no interruptions for trading. I just want to point out quick on the NASDAQ before we do some more flow, they did pretty perfectly backtest that 415 to 386 range that I've had on my chart for ages. We just haven't been down here to do anything with it. But we're bouncing it, so now I want to see if they reject up here near the 500s or sooner, because again, we're right up underneath that same shelf I wanted to backtest from above. I want to see if we get a firm rejection here to join them to the downside, or if they're just going to recover off of that 415 hold. We'll keep an eye on it, but go ahead and start making your flow requests, folks. We'll get to it when we get to it. Don't worry, it doesn't disappear in the chat for us like it does for those of you watching on the Twitter mobile. Aw, damn it, the bots are back. Get out of here, you son of a bitch.
Again?
Get
Why
out.
are they so bad?
Get out. Dude, the bots are
It's
crazy.
2026.
They're getting all up in my chats, spamming crypto shit. Get out of here, dude.
And like some of the bots are so like
they're
good
aggressive.
that they look real. Like some of them like they've
Electric Deuce, what's going on, homie? I haven't spoken to you in like 2 years. I feel like. How you doing?
Party time. Look at that. The
party
coming
time.
into the chat. Yeah, no, the bot. I don't know, dude. Like the bots, they almost seem like they're.
How do you long
real,
Twitter bots? Is there a way to long Twitter bots? There's gotta be, right?
There's gotta be. I mean, hey, I'll full port that one.
No shit.
I'm the full port that one. Jeez,
SPX
man.
is still kind of chugging. I'm hard pressed to short
I'm
now
keeping an
because
eye.
of
Look
how
at
wide that stop's gonna be. But I might have to join them here in a bit here. SPX
Yeah,
isn't giving us a bounce at all, like the Nasdaq.
Your
is.
call premiums absolutely died on the market tide too.
I would love
Absolute
them to
drop.
back test pretty much the entire overnight recovery. That would be fun for me. I'm being patient here. I also want to see what our gamma profile looks like. I am on this account, full disclosure, down about $140 from failing my ass off during the overnight session. I got giddy. I got impatient. So I'm being a little patient on this account. Look at that. We're back testing the bottom there that I wanted to see. Right about here. If they can't recover this open range, I'm joining them.
There you go. Yeah, I was just kind of finishing.
Oh, that
up
rejection
yeah,
went
16 cents
too.
there. Yeah,
I'd be hard pressed to go for it, but I'm going for it. I will lose like $100 on this with small size if they don't go. And then I'll probably switch accounts and just call this a $200 loss for the account, and that's okay. Ending when you're down isn't a failure, y'all. That is capital preservation. And like I said, I got giddy and put a couple trades on last evening. What are you gonna do? All right, here we go. Let's see if this rejection gets me back down to the 415. In the meantime, folks, feel free to drop your flow requests. We'll start diving into some shit here while I probably get stopped out of this trade.
I'm just going to pop open my feed here to see if there's anything hidden right away.
Escanor says, party time. I agree, homie. Might get some fireworks today. There's a lot of back testing to the upside and downside we can do. Let's see if they give me my 415, though. 30 points down from here, and they're going for it. I might take it off right before we get there, unless they just flush through it. Up about $100 on this trade. Let's see what they do right here, right now for me. If they bounce too hard, I'm just going to take this bad boy off. I'm going to take it off right there. We got $123 on that bad boy. Let's see if they get another rejection for me to do it. For those wondering, I don't just hold through shit. I have a very tight risk tolerance when I'm trading on the show. We try to be really responsible here. But as you can see, these rejections are happening right at those floors that they set in the overnight and pre-market sessions. I don't know if the sellers are going to hang on to this one. Sorry, the buyers. I don't know if they're going to hang on. If they sweep that 386 level again and can't instantly reclaim it like they did with 415, I think we're going to have another down day from this 1.5% NASDAQ still sitting up here. So I'm keeping an eye on that. Yeah. We might put another scalp on. I do want to wait for our Periscope to be a little more confident in how wide that range is going to be in the ES and SPX. So we're 1 for 1 on the morning. We're chilling. I went from that negative 140 that I was down in the overnight session. We're only down $23 now. That's a dub. Small losses, those are good. Big losses, that's when you're fucking around too much. Not good. A small loss is still a win. Vibing.
Yep, because there will be losers. You're never gonna be a 100% winner.
Not a thing.
Ignore that when you hear people say that. I mean, even I think the outstanding win rate, just in a whole, is 60%. I mean, I think that's considered an outstanding win rate on trades. You can correct me on that if I'm wrong, but
I'm with
feel
you.
like I've seen that number before where they're I mean, even
really
on Wall
contentious
Street,
statement
that's
to make.
60%. Yes, yes. Hey, our Periscope's up now.
All right, what are we looking at?
Is up.
Oh, we already just tested the extreme. That 74.30 to 74.70 is our all range right now. What's our 0-day look like? Yeah, that's 74.10 building up down there on the 0 days. That has my eyebrow and my interest.
That 74.50 kind of grew a little bit too. I'm
waiting.
I'm probably hands off
right
now.
Yeah, I'm waiting a minute.
Yeah,
we are forming a 1-minute time frame bear flag on the NASDAQ, but I want to see if they're going to take back. I might actually have to put some intraday levels here. Basically, at 512 is where they can retrace the opening pump, and they're testing it right now. I'm keeping an eye on this. If they break up back above here, we might be getting back into that bullish trajectory to target some of that positive gamma above us. But as it stands, the heaviest positive gamma is below us. But I'm going to hold off. I'm going to sit on my hands. We're 1 for 1 on the day. I'm not going to push it until they realign and set up this range for me. I'll let the market come to me. I'm not going to chase the market. But what we can do real quick, if you're down, Anthony, we have a request on Twitter for Riot from Electra. We can take a look at that.
Yeah, let's take a peek here. Yeah, it's not a clean setup like Friday yet. Not a clean setup like Friday yet.
We've got a pretty wide range here. I'm just keeping an eye on to see which side they pop through. But that 74.10 has my interest. That's the 74.50 just above us.
So, Riot here.
And if that's the only short they give us today, so be it. That's still a dub.
Yep. And I mean, I kind of expect it to be, maybe a little volatile. Just obviously coming off a big down day, you're gonna have dip buyers, and you're probably have
big down
selling,
day with almost a 2% recovery in the pre-market for the Nasdaq. I think we get a little bit of fireworks. They'll give us more opportunities in both directions today. Mark my words.
Yeah, let that periscope clean up a little bit. You don't have to force into anything right away. But all right, let's take a peek at
Riot.
Riot here.
Let's start
Yes.
a riot.
Riot.
A riot.
Yeah, you need to have an Unusual Will's track list of just you.
Just sound bites of me
Just
autistically grabbing a single word out of a sentence and doing something with
Hey, I mean,
it.
it's all about the content, all about the content.
I'm an adult.
But
Hey, good morning,
yeah.
Shavaran. Oh, sorry, Shravan. I got the R in the wrong spot. Sorry for that.
Monday can't even read, man.
I can't
What's
even
going
read,
on?
dude. I'm surprised I could hit those Adam Gontier notes in the morning. Usually I'm like, you can't talk.
Yeah, I'm looking at premiums here on Riot. There's been kind of a lot of bid side call action here recently. Friday did have a lot of put action, kind of along with everything else. I just want to look at what Friday's was there. Looks like maybe a couple decent looking pieces of flow came in here Friday. I want to look at that 7-10-28 call first just to see. That is still open. All of that volume from Friday did carry over into today. This is one in real time where I'd say I wanted to kind of keep an eye on that volume, but we know it carried over, so that is open. Three kind of different hits here, so I would assume they're buy it open. When they hit the tape kind of aggressively like that there, I'm going to kind of lean more buy to open there. If we go in and look at the flow, obviously there are different timestamps, so it's going to kind of might not give you the best read there. So,
And
I mean,
as
like
we've
when I look at it here,
determined
so I mean,
already, neither of us really know how to read today, so.
Yeah, yeah. So like I'm
We're
looking at
fucking
it here.
killing
I
it.
mean, the tape it's not the cleanest tape. So I mean, you're starting out with that 87, 86 for the IV, and you see it kind of drop a little bit there too as that price goes up a penny there. So, just kind of something to be cautious about there. Doesn't necessarily mean the flow's not going to work out, but again, then you have some bid side stuff here. IV's dropping there. I mean, there's just kind of a lot going on in that specific tape, and if you
I
look at
do
each
like that it all
candle
carried
too.
over, though, so we didn't.
Yep,
If I had seen this on Friday, I'd be having, some internal
a
conflict of
double
whether
check
that
the
even stayed
OI.
open.
Yep,
Because those are pretty similar in size, but the whole thing carried over. So we do got, one big ass position, not an in and
yep,
out intraday. So at least we've confirmed that.
yep. Um, so then like this candle here, I mean, you get a nice IV spike when that comes in, so it is filling with the bid. And then you get kind of an IV drop, and then you get big size and big premium here. Again, your spot price is increasing here. Again, different timings though. More than likely the same person though, because this contract only had 28 interest open contracts at the time there. Jeez, man,
I am
it's gonna be a
short
long
and
day.
almost out already. I think they're going to hold here. I'm playing it safe. But we are completely wiping out last night's loss. We are in profit. I'm keeping an eye on this candle right here, right now. I would love for it to reach the top of that shelf we set below, but if they bounce here, I'm just going to take it because that's a nice recovery of that back test of 415 that we were looking at. I'm just going to take that. I'm not going to risk it. We are in profit for the day, baby. All right, back to Riot. I'll shut the hell up. I'm probably not going to put another one on without more testing. And they're going directly to my target without me now.
It heard you. It heard,
It heard
that's
me.
all that matters.
They're coming for me specifically.
But
I'm going to flip over to you for that Riot.
yeah, kind of looking here. So, I mean, what catches my eye on this specific candle on the trade there, you're getting that spot price rising twice there. Again, IV rising. Again, not the same timing. So, it could be somebody different, but just, there were only 28 open contracts before all this volume came in there. So, the likelihood of it being someone else, probably unlikely there. I'd lean that it's the same person. I'm sure Nick would agree with me on that one there. Obviously, we can't confirm it, but just kind of, the heavy size coming in here, the odds of it being at least related, yeah, it's, you can't say things for 100% to be certain unless you know, but, just screen time. This is where that screen time comes in. You just kind of start seeing things, and like
Start
if you made me put a
hallucinating.
bet, yeah, oh, dude, sometimes,
Everybody
but
talks
like,
about like language models hallucinating shit. Sometimes I'll just make shit up in my head for flow. I'm gonna be honest. Like, if you get a little loopy sometimes.
but yeah, I'd keep an eye on these. These could be interesting, especially knowing that all that volume carried over. I do want to look at that put there. This was a short dated put. These were right at the money. So again, this is a good example too of, you're up on contracts, adjust the stop up, take some profits. Because look, these came in at 120. They close, or well, they hit a high there of 169. That's a good significant return there on short dated contracts. I'm probably taking profits. I'm not going to swing them over the weekend, but yeah, these are down now. Hard to know if they were actually short or what on these. We can look at the flow and kind of try to get an idea. Oh, it's a big multi-leg trade.
Whoop, piece of candy.
And it's they rolled the strike up. So I wonder, see that, and when they roll that strike up too, that kind of, I don't know. I almost think, potential. Well, they're at the money, so I don't know. I have a hard time seeing them sell contracts at the money. Like, you got to be really ballsy to do that. But yeah, I mean, yeah, big multi-leg. So they rolled the 612s there, so just down to the or up to the 25 there. So I mean, it's open there. I would say I like those calls better on it. Let's see, anything else new potentially now today? Probably not, so a little early. Yeah, just kind of light volume coming in so far on the day. We can look at our gamma and just see what we got on here. So kind of what sticks out to me right away is that 10-day expiration, that 618
Honey
has
bunches
your
of
highest
votes.
chip. Yes.
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 I
Ooh.
want 415,
Ooh.
but I'm taking it here yet again. I'm not letting them back test me, and that's all. That's all. That's all. That's all. I've noticed that a lot of times when we trade on the show, I don't show it till it's over. I got to get a little
Well,
better at
I
that.
mean, I mean, it's a quick trade. It's a quick trade. What do you do? I mean,
And that's part of the
it's.
risk of like why I always say don't shadow trade us, because there's a
Yep.
delay. By the time you hear me say I'm in, I might already be out. But yeah, I do these little quickies in these ranges. But I digress.
Yep.
Let's keep looking at this Riot Gamma. I'm actually gonna go full screen on it so I can more easily zoom in and out on your screen. But go ahead. Where are we looking?
Cool, because you know exactly where I'm gonna start
Yeah,
clicking,
I sure
probably.
do.
Yeah, so I'm looking at that gamma heat zones map here. So absolute gamma, I usually typically look at that first. That's going to be your strongest magnet pin. This is at 28. We're trading at 25. So, that 28 is going to act like a strong pin there. So I like to kind of look at that gamma decay over time area here. So for those that use Periscope, this is essentially your Periscope for an individual name. Now, it doesn't update every 10 minutes like Periscope, it's just derived from the open interest. So, kind of keep that in mind there, too. Obviously, things can change throughout the day, but it's not going to change on here until that open interest updates. But what catches my eye kind of right away is those dollar figures. And you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, Nick, but it's the dollar, just kind of the easiest way to explain it, I think, is that's just kind of like how per like percent move dealers have to hedge something. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I am not a dev.
Yeah, those
Clearly.
levels, that's where you'll start seeing some inverse
Yep.
reaction, generally speaking. So yeah. You have a better understanding of
So
this area of gamma than I do. I'm gonna be real with you, man.
hey, I see. I can explain it to you. I just can't explain the actual like components behind it, like how it's programmed there, pretty much.
Fucking
But
crypto bots. God damn.
again,
Holy
jeez,
shit. Fuck out of here, man.
jeez.
Jesus Christ.
Oh God, they're annoying.
Hey, at least
So,
it looks like our chat's popping.
Hey,
JLo, it
hey.
should be working now. I'll double check it for you, but I think mine is back updated. It was just a Periscope question.
Periscope. Okay, I was gonna say, yeah, mine was working a little bit there too. But so like that 10-day one, you want to kind of focus on those heavy dollar figures essentially there. So like the 10-day one, it's positive gamma there. So again, I just like to see where that is. So we're at 25, 23, and kind of 24. I know we're trading at 25, so potentially, it's going to act like a magnet there. So we're sitting right on 25 right now. I do like looking at the short dated ones too, just to kind of get that short dated thesis there. If the dollar figure is pretty high. Now if it's a really light dollar figure, I'm going to probably ignore it. But like here, okay, so we're negative 225K on this. That's negative gamma is greater than positive gamma, just the easiest kind of term there. And it's all focused on that 24 strike there. So, it's a strike of interest kind of for me there, knowing I'm at a kind of, heavier gamma spot here overall. Like I'm looking at 618, hey, it's at 24 there. And if I look at my call wall here too, I'm coming into that call wall right now. And if I do, I kind of like actually looking at this one here, that gamma exposure by strike. It helps a lot too. It gives you another visual there too. But we're trading right in the middle of that call wall and put wall right now. So I mean, it can kind of go either way. That absolute gamma is up a bit, but again, that absolute gamma is going to be across every expiration too, so kind of keep that in mind. And you can always come down here and look at that gamma exposure by expiration too. So like, hey, okay, that 612 is getting a lot of attention, but that 618 has the highest net gamma out of any expiration here. So you want to come down here and see exactly what strike that is for that expiration. Pop that there, and it's going to have it there, and it looks like it's at 25. So if I'm kind of paying attention to that when we get to that 25, so if that heavy positive gamma essentially tends to act like a magnet. Once you get there though, it's going to slow that price. So essentially dealers are going to, or market makers are going to sell to stay delta neutral, so on there. So it's set up the same way as Periscope there. It's just not updated every 10 minutes. You get the open interest update. So again, just kind of keep that in mind too. But yeah, the Riot one here, let me just one more pop there. Yeah, I mean, you got absolute gamma at 28 there. Put wall is down there kind of at 23. I am looking at, yeah, I know there's a lot of net gamma on that short-term expiration. They like that 6 to 18. So like if I'm trying to set something up here.
Don't advertise your services in my chat either. Get the fuck out of here. Come on. What is
God,
happening in Twitter chat today? Jesus Christ.
It's bad, dude.
Man.
It's bad. It's bad.
You're going to go into the premier options data company's chat and promote your options data company, dog? Come on. Use your brain a little bit, please.
Stupid.
Just a little, man. I'm not usually a dick to people. Don't spam bullshit in my chat, man. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Electra did ask, was the negative from Friday? I think a good chunk of it was, right?
The negative.
That negative gamma buildup.
Yes, that should have. Yeah,
You
that probably all
that
came
wall
over.
At 28.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think so, Electra. I think that's a good observation and a fair one to make.
Yeah.
What a bounce.
So yeah, kind of just
kind of cool.
Yeah, so kind of just finishing up with that one too, and I keep an eye on where that support is. Also the call wall too. Just kind of helps your big your gamma resistance and support there. But like this one, so like if I was gonna take something on this one, knowing that it's, jeez,
oh, they're going. Damn, I caught the tiniest bit of that short, and I actually closed it right on this green candle here. They bounced. I closed it to avoid a back test up here to stay in that range. They just broke through the bottom of that range, so I'm looking for good bounces to get short again. I think we're up about $100 on this account now. Yeah. From negative 150 to positive 108, we don't got to push, y'all, so I'm going to wait for these safer entries up here. But damn good morning thus far, and a good gamma read on Riot. Yeah, neither of us are the founder of UW, homie. I am Nicholas, the dumbass in the purple shirt. I'm the homie that does all of the shows and all of the interviews you see us do here on Twitter. Cheers, homie. But no, neither of us are the founder. We're just a couple of guys.
Yeah, we're just a couple of guys. Come on here, talk some flow and Periscope, and
All right, if they just waterfall this without me, I will be a little chafed. But in 2 trades, we've made 250, so we can't be mad. Let's see if they give us a re-entry. In the meantime, folks, feel free to keep dropping your flow requests in the chat. We'll be more than happy to do flow breakdowns while we constantly interrupt each other every 10 seconds.
Hey, it wouldn't be a show without that, though. Wouldn't
And
be
real
a show
quick, I know
without
we got a
that.
little influx of folks, and I guarantee a lot of you are beginners or new members to the site. I just want to plug one more time this site, unusualwhales.com/office hours, that shows all of our shows, the Monday, Wednesday, Friday morning shows. Not only that, we've got office hours now after the Wednesday morning show via this Zoom link where Snorlax UW goes over basics of the site, general onboarding, Q&A. You got it there. This is the best stream to attend for beginners on the Zoom call. And you can set up calendar notifications for everything if you want to see my beautiful face and listen to Anthony not be able to type. You'll be able to have it on your calendar.
Yeah, yeah. The streams are very invaluable, especially Snore stream. Even his zooms, I know they're they're for pretty much beginners. But hey, you know what? The stuff that guy teaches is very good, very good. Even doesn't matter. Like you know, you're never too good for beginner stuff. You're never too good for beginner stuff. Just always, ask questions and be a student of the game. Because if once you start trying to be a student, stop being a student, you're never gonna know everything in this game. Never. So just it's always nice. And even like the flow reads and stuff, like obviously we do ours, so I'm listening to you all day, 3 days a week. But like even Snore's Thursday streams, I go in there, I know how to read flow, I don't have a problem reading flow, but it's nice just to get another perspective of it every once in a while too.
Especially his.
Yes, because it's right.
Yeah, right. We are having some Periscope issues still with the actual SPX printed price. They're working on it, homies. Don't worry. The gamma levels are correct. The gamma levels are correct. Cool. SPX is reading the wrong price on Periscope. They're on it. They're on it.
Cool. So yeah, just to finish up Riot here quick for you. So like if I was going to trade something like this, I'd at least kind of be looking, maybe that 618 expiration there. And again, this isn't financial advice, just telling you what I would kind of be looking for there. I'd see if you can maybe get a pullback a little bit here closer to that support there. Just knowing you have some short-dated negative net gamma there on the expiration there, I'd see if you can maybe get to that 23 and just kind of combining that with, your absolute gamma is at 28, which is above us, going to act like the strongest magnet pin zone. And we had that piece of flow from Friday. Let me just go find it one more time here. The 7-10-28 call, which is past that 6-18 expiration. Like, maybe I'd target that then if I can get a little discount there. Just I try to find as best of an entry as I can. I typically don't like when the flow comes in. I typically, unless it's like super textbook and super clean, I don't take it right away. I usually like to look for a little discounted entry, and I kind of go through the different dashboards and see, where's our support, resistance, so on. Is there any other flow? Check out the net premiums and all that. So it's
all
the more
jazz.
like the more I feel like the more dashboards you use within here, I mean, you're gonna find a higher success rate instead of just targeting one little specific thing. As you're like, hey, I'm just show me the Periscope levels. I'll get in that way. Man, my feed is pretty dry on the day so far there. Av goes pretty much at the mid there. Intel calls these. Ooh, already down a little bit here. Take a peek at these 900 contracts against 167 open.
I am short. Tight stop already, though. I'm not even going to show this one. It's going to be done in like 5 seconds here. We're vibing, homies.
All right, I want to look at this here since you're doing that. So, kind of conflicted on this one here. So, get an IV drop when that comes in. So it's an ascending fill. We're starting out at 680 here. We come up to 7 here. I don't like that IV drop when we come in, especially. Oh, price is down a little bit. So that can. So again, I kind of pay attention to the price too, and if the IV drops when the price comes in, that can kind of explain that drop. Now, if we were for some reason I read that 8 as a 9 there quick, and I was like, we're up 27 cents in that Ivy drops. That's not good. But again, that price is staying the same here. I'm seeing that Ivy rise as it's in here. You get a repeated hits ascending fill. These are interesting to me. Little longer trade there. 710 120 call being hit there. They don't overlap earnings.
All right.
That's kind of my main thing. Oh, would you take
Oh,
another trade?
I got a little bit of slippage on that one. We were up at my profit target of 300. We took about $50 of slippage. I'm switching accounts. We're up 260 on the one that was negative 150 at the 140 at the top of the show. We don't need to push on that. That's a fucking win. I am going to go ahead and switch accounts to another one, see if we can hit that target on another account as well. Not
There you
bad.
go.
After you finish up Intel, let's look at IREN and Hood.
Perfect. Yeah, I think this Intel is going to be a really good example here. So, okay, the 120 call, we found that flow. We think that flow looks good. I'm looking at the heat map here. Absolute gamma's at 120. That's going to be your max pin magnet. That's a good sign there. We're trading at 107 right now. I'm looking, and this is what I was kind of trying to find on Friday, but we didn't find anything. So 4 days at 612 expiration. Look at all that heavy positive gamma up there. 113, 116. That's where that heavy positive gamma is, and it's going to tend to act as a magnet there. So you got some room there to the upside. Even looking at that 10-day out expiration, 115's up there. So, I mean, there's a lot of positive gamma to the upside on here. That's what I like to see. I have flow that kind of coincides with that. My net call premiums are, kind of down a little bit now today, but yeah, we already kind of made a big move down after all that bid side call. So I kind of, that's in the past there. That price essentially already kind of moved after the bid side calls there. So yeah, I like that flow. I'm gonna put this one down for us. This is a interesting one with some time on these here, and obviously one thing I like to do as well too is I know Intel's up 8% on the day here. Maybe again, let me just pop back to that heat map here one more time. Oh, our put wall's way down there is 70. So okay, yeah, there's that support's not close there. I'm kind of looking maybe I'm looking at that net gamma here on that 108. This could be decent support, maybe 106 as well there. But yeah, that call wall up there at 120 is also your absolute gamma. That's what I like to see. That's kind of how I'd read that early in the week there too. I'm gonna save this one so we can come back and look at this here. Oops. Man. These Mondays, man. These Mondays.
No, we're killing it. High octane here. Nothing but. I'm dragging ass. I'm so tired today.
Yeah, those Mondays are bad. Like the Friday shows, a little more excitement there because it's a Friday. But
it's funny because Monday and Wednesday are by far and beyond our biggest turnouts and popping chats. But Monday and Wednesday, dude, I'm just so fucking tired all the time.
Yeah,
I definitely sleep responsibly over the weekend.
That Monday, I fell asleep on the couch on Saturday night and woke up at like 4 a.m. Went upstairs and went back to bed. I'm like, dude, what is going on? But all right. So yeah, good example. We'll go back and look at those Intels here. Plenty of time on those. That's interesting. A little smaller whale too, but that's not always a bad thing there. Okay, what was the one you wanted me to take a peek at?
IREN and then Hood will be next on deck.
Just blanket request there.
Blanket request. I imagine IREN will have something to look at. It usually does. And like you said at the top of the show, you expected some energy fireworks today. I'm also short on the new account. On the second account, rather. Neither of them are new. I'm about to take profit already. We're testing my 386 from above. I don't want to argue with them if they want to bounce this. I'm going to leave my stop where it is. I'll lose like $80 if it goes. I want to see if they can get my target, which is the top of this last comeback candle. If I don't get it, I don't give a shit. We did well on the other account. We're vibing.
So I'm looking at IREN here. Obviously, this pretty volatile name. Look at all the ask side calls, and you get some ask side puts, bid side calls. Yeah, a lot of ask side puts recently. We did get that move down, obviously, kind of after you saw that ask side puts come in. Let's see if there's anything new today that's not 830 days out.
You love a
These
good
look like
leap
they're
every now and
multi-leg
again.
too. Yeah, big multi-leg too. So see multi-leg with shares too. So yeah, this is don't even waste your time. Don't even waste your time if it's multi-leg with
Usually
shares,
you see that, you
especially if
got
it.
some weirdo ass hedging going on.
Yeah, I was gonna
This is going to
say.
stair step up. I'm going to take this trade off, and we're waiting again.
Looking here. Let's see. Yeah, a lot of this flow kind of hit already. I'm just going here and take a peek.
All right, those wondering about the Periscope price, it looks like it is a CBOE issue with short delayed send time. So hopefully that gets resolved shortly. Unfortunately, nothing our devs can do about that. That is on their side, not ours. They're working on it.
So I am just kind of clicking through these. I don't have any clean openers on the day really here. I mean the biggest volume on it, it's that 61271 call, but it's just kind of a lot of sporadic action there, not really good directional flow. I mean, more than half is bid side on there, and these are 26% out of the money, like 4 days. The theta is going to be strong on these. Again, you just kind of pop that in that option profit calculator. Look at the theta on those, 11 cents a day, delta 6. So, I mean, you need about a $2 move to offset 1 day of theta. That's not saying that, Iron can't run another 5% today and these can see profit, but, the 26% out of the data, 26% out of the money short dated, not really my cup of tea on that one. The 61257s and oh, where are we going? Okay, there we go. That was weird.
I always believed in you, Anthony.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, again, just I mean, not really directional. It's even more bid side again there than ask. You don't have a clean opener and even more bid side coming in there. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything new flow-wise on it. Let me just check the overall flow here. See if we got anything. Let me get rid of some multi-leg stuff in here. Alright, let's see there. Maybe this could be a little tickle. No, there's too much open interest on this one. So again, you just see how I kind of click on that little time there. Here's that 300 that we were kind of looking at in here. Well, it's going to count that full candle there, but let me just pop this back 3 days and that'll help. Maybe 2. So, okay, there's that kind of big flow there. I mean, you got a lot of different volume in here. It's hard to know if it's truly an opener. Just, I mean, it could be part of this, and could be part of that. It's just too many questions to kind of ask. And like, yes, it looks good on the daily there, 315, but there's just kind of a decent chunk of open interest there that did carry over as well too. So wouldn't surprise me to see some of that 1400 from Friday out of that 700 that carried over could be taking profits. So I mean, you don't know in here where this is. I mean, could be this 125, could be that 120 there, and maybe they're getting out at 431. I mean, just hard to know. There's not a clean big whale on that one. Kind of looking through here. Yeah, there's not much. Not much. We can look at the heat map on it, though. Clean these up a little bit. Absolute gamma's at 55, so it's slightly below us here. So that would, again, act as your biggest magnet pinning zone there. Put walls at 60% below us. I'd like to. That's yeah. Like when you see that, I mean, that's when you can kind of ignore that. Obviously, it's gonna pull in the numbers how they're in there due to the open interest. But hey, that did update there. I wonder if that does update intraday there. Did you see that? Am I crazy? I swore that just updated there.
I wasn't even paying attention. I'm gonna be real.
Okay, I might.
I'm
be
trying
crazy.
to watch for another short entry. We're only down.
We're
only down $40 on the second account from that stop out on the stair step up. Still just waiting, but I'm eyeballing it.
Cool. So like I'm looking at that weekly here. Again, this is by far your biggest dollar figure here, so that's what's grabbing my attention right away. And they like that 55 strike. See, that's why. Okay, I was like, oh, so now my put wall changed to 56. Interesting.
Interesting.
So
I'll make a
maybe
note.
so
I'll make
maybe
a
it
note to
does.
ask you about it. I'll make a note.
Yeah, because for some reason I thought this only updates for open interest.
I
Yeah,
thought it
definitely double
I
check
thought it
there.
had an end up or like a pre-market update, an open update. But I'll double
Yeah,
check. I'll make sure. I'll make sure.
Yeah, that's interesting. If it does update like that, that's even cooler. So like that 55 has the heaviest. It's the heaviest gamma position there. It's negative, so it's going to act as acceleration there. You know, your absolute gamma's at 55. That heavy weekly gamma's there at 55. Even the 10-day one there, 10 days out there at 60. But I mean, your short dated's going to be good when it's that heavier price there, and then just if you're looking for longer dated there, you can kind of use out those further dated out ones. But like if I'm trying to find a play here, like hey, if we come down here, test that heavy 55 there, maybe I want to come out here and target something 10 days out there. Like that's how I kind of like to use the different time frames here. And
I caught this short, y'all. I'm about to take it off already. Let's see what they do right above 415 here. That 415 has remained one of my levels of interest intraday. I would love them to sweep it. It looks like they want to bounce it. Let's see what they do here. 30 seconds on this candle. I'm probably not going to still be in it once it closes. There, we got the test. If they bounce this, I'm out. If they don't, let's see if they give me my full target down here. All right. And they bounce it. I'm taking it. We're not risking it. We're having a good morning. We're not going to get greedy. But otherwise, below that, 385 is target. They're on it now. Let's see if they stair step it back up or if sellers took that control back from the buyers on these stair steps. If they get below 350s, hold your butts. Because then it might be targeting a new low of day here. But that's all she wrote there. What are we looking at here?
So yeah, just kind of finishing up on iron here. So like if you look at it on this chart too, again, I like to flip between both. But again, there's your heavy negative net gamma there on that 55. So you just kind of get that visual here as well too. So like you got some net gamma to the upside there, you got some to the downside. Yeah, it's I'd almost say that weekly looks bearish there, but then that 10-day out looks bullish there. I don't have any flow to really go for it, and we are kind of going toward, I mean, we're dropping here. That 55 again was your absolute gamma there. So, I mean, it's trying to pull that price there.
I wouldn't be too terribly surprised of a test and bounce, personally. We'll see if they can accelerate it.
Yeah, see if we get some flow too. There's not much for
not a whole lot going on today. That 71 call is probably the only real point of interest I can see intraday. Because as you see, everything else is pretty in line with their open interest profile. This is the only one where we've got new positioning guaranteed, but it's kind of hard to read. We don't really know what side these are transacting on. We don't know if it's 50 different people popping on a couple contracts here and there. It could all be one person. Hard to say. It's leaning bid side, but I'm not super convinced either way. There's too much going on that 71.
Yeah, the 27% out of the money on that kind of, makes me say, probably pass on that. I mean, they're just so short dated, 27% of the money. If you chop, these are going to get chopped up really quick too.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially if IV drops and you're up. I mean, we're up 8% at one point there for a little bit. So I mean, it's try to use some logic along with it there too. I know it's
you're asking a lot from me, bro.
Yeah. I mean, it comes with screen time. You just see some of that flow, and you're like, yeah, this is probably Now, if it was if earnings were this week, then potentially, but no earnings, so yeah.
Right, next on deck after Iron, we've got Hood. And we had a couple people in chat asking about Bitcoin specifically. I'm not a crypto guy, and I don't think Anthony really is either, other than a couple of long holds. So I don't want to speculate too heavily. Now, I will say on Hood, even though it's down like $50 from its all-time highs, it's still 800% above where I called it, and that
But
still
you
hurts my soul. It hurts my soul to see Hood be down like 30% plus from highs, and it's still so much fucking higher than it was when I said we should get Hood.
Don't you just love that? Well, that's like my story about Palantir. Like when Webull used to give out the free shares, I had
Oh,
like
you
a
had a
bunch of like
Palantir one?
Palantirs at
Dude,
like
every time I got
10
that
bucks,
shit,
12 bucks.
every time I
I'd
got
sell
that
it.
shit
Yeah.
back in the day, A, I'd sell it. B, it was always like fucking Ford or something. I never got anything
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, it's like I always Ford or GM, and I'm like, bro, give me something good. And I got like Palantir, and I'm like, oh, this is cool.
I was like, sure, I'll take
I-
my $5 from this one Ford share. Fuck yeah.
I mean, and it's funny because they stopped kind of doing that referral thing too.
When
Like
they started
only
publicly
run
trading, and then they started
Yeah.
screwing long-time users of the platform over on their futures. That was crazy. Yeah, a lot of y'all had wondered what happened to that initial futures account we were running. All things considered, Webull nuked that for us. I was not able to close a position and got to watch it just burn while I tried to get a hold of their trade desk to close it for me. Shit out of luck. Not recommend, not do anything then. IREN for me is a wait, if that's what you're asking, Zavi. In my opinion,
Yeah,
IREN's
that was-
a wait. I want to see how they react to that 55. That would be my take. That's what I understood when he was breaking down that gamma profile personally.
Yeah.
That's a wait.
Yeah,
for
it was
me.
his head.
And again, I'd
it was
rather
more
miss a
short-dated.
trade entirely than be stuck in a bad one.
Yep. Yeah. See if some more flow comes in on it, because I mean there wasn't much for flow on that. But yeah, let's take a peek at Hood here up
Take a peek under
to
the
a
hood, if you
third
will.
on the day. Yeah, let's take a peek under the hood on Hood.
You're just trying to get under my shirt.
Hey, maybe when
They're
you
gonna
have the
see
maid
that in like
outfit
a
on.
week and a half. Fuck. Oh yeah, Electra, you missed that shit. I ran a flash sale, and I said if enough people subscribe during that flash sale, I'll be rocking a French maid outfit. And they did way faster than I anticipated. So I'll flash on screen the beautiful outfit y'all get to see me trade in a week or two. I'm just trying to position it around some other plans we have for the site. It's not me dodging this time, I promise. I can't dodge. I can't escape. But here's the beautiful, beautiful gown I'll be rocking for an entire trade session. And dare I say, I'm going to look fabulous. There's not
Have
much
you tried
more
it
to add.
on yet to see if it fits?
Yeah, it's fucking snug, buddy. It and the hem of it is quite short. I am a 6 foot tall, chubby man, and I will say that dress is probably meant for like a 5'8" woman. It's short. It's fucking short, man. It's above the area you would want it to cover. I'll say that much. Let's look at Hood. I just wanted to let some of the newcomers know the kind of show that they're getting themselves into by being here.
I'm before we touch on Hood here too. I was just kind of looking at that position. Look at all that upside positioning drop off on that update.
That's part of why I've been cutting these shorts really fast. Yeah, there could be a home run in there, but I would rather take these little nibbles just because that profile. Yeah, the setup is below us, but they're shifting some positions around above us, and we're seeing a little bit of taper at that 74.10. Nothing dramatic. The fall off we're seeing above is more significant than that below, but it's just something to keep in mind. I hate to say that we could test way down to the 73.50 area, but then again, I hated to say 7,400 on Friday, and look where we ended up. But we'll keep an eye on that. I'm sure we'll get a fire off a couple more Periscope trades intraday.
Yeah, I might snag something here while I go through Hood. Actually, I might just let me give it a little refresh there. I don't know if that price is.
I think there are plans for exactly that, so stay tuned. We also are damn close to having 1 minute time frames on Periscope with that attributed market maker positioning. And once we have it and it's public, I'm going to be scalping the shit out of it just to test it out. We'll overtrade a bit. I foresee that definitely because we're going to be getting these updates way faster than we're used to. and I'm going to be taking action on it while I kind of tighten up this exact same strategy just on a smaller time frame. So I'm really excited for that. 1 minute. I think we'll be like the only folks with it. I know you see a lot of like 30-second updates, but homies, that's not attributed. You're getting customer positioning in that, and as far as I know, CBOE doesn't even offer that small of a time frame. But we'll have 1 minute, and I'm fucking stoked. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, that's
I'm gonna get myself into
gonna
some
be
trouble.
fun. Gonna be a game changer.
All right, let's take a look at this hood. We've been stringing this poor homie along for like 15 minutes.
so hood here, I'm just kind of looking at the premiums on the day so far, pretty flat. And I mean, you had some positive or some ask side call premium there, kind of already saw the move up after that. Little premiums there last Thursday, and then
Here, while you do hood,
off.
delay on the Gex profile because I won't be able to zoom. I'm gonna go grab myself a beverage. I'm out of dirty bean water.
All right, you do that. I will take my time. So I'm just kind of looking through the flow here on the day here. That 612.90 call is getting a ton of volume, but we are split here between bid and ask. Hard to know a direction on that there. Let's see if we got anything opening on this here. Maybe not. Yeah, not too much. Okay, I'm gonna come in here. If I usually don't find it through that, I just kind of come over here. Let's see if we can find anything potentially interesting. So the 64% of the money, I'm gonna ignore that there. It's not really more arbitragey there. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not seeing much for flow on this one. Just a lot of kind of lighter volume against a lot of higher open interest names on these here. Yeah, the only one looks like that 64% in the money one, which I'm gonna kind of ignore anyways. How about open interest wise? Let's just take a peek here.
I'm back in business, and when I open up this Mountain Dew, you know it's business time.
Hey, there you go. Yeah, that 612.87 call, a lot of that carried over, but this, yeah, not super clean there. I mean, big bid side there now. They're green slightly. Looks like might have had some more the day before too. Yeah, just kind of a lot going on that one. I mean, 6.4 you have a little less than half carry over there. Even Friday's flow, I mean, you're not getting that full carryover. Yeah, there's just kind of
got a big spike in net call premium in the broader markets. I'm gonna be sitting on my hands a bit before I try to snipe another short. The NASDAQ is trying to reclaim up here. A good rejection would be prime for a short, but again, that same gamma profile we talked about, we are right in the middle of a very wide negative gamma zone. Remember, market makers tend to buy into upside movement throughout negative gamma and sell into downside movement. We're right in the fucking middle of a wide negative gamma range with positive gamma building above and below that range. This is a 50-50 spot. This is where I sit on my hands, excuse me, and wait for a better entry or confirmation of a direction. This is what we love to call, and everybody loves to call. You'll hear this on any show you tune into. This is diddling in the middle. We're going to wait until I get a firm rejection higher up or a firm hold lower down. If they set a new low without me, that's okay. This net call premium spike we're seeing, both in out of the money only, so farther away strikes, and at the money, in the money as a whole, are spiking dramatically. I'm keeping an eye within this range. I would rather see this coming down as we push up than going up with it to try to get another short. So we're waiting here, sitting on our hands.
Yeah, looks like
MUs
are kind of contributor to
We're up 110 on account 2. So we're already happy campers on the day. I'm not going to force nothing. We'll wait.
Yeah, I'm looking. Yeah, it looks like it's MU kind of doing that. That net volume did just turn positive there. I was
MU
gonna say,
is fucking damn good eye. That's a lot of premium for MU.
I was gonna say, it's kind of, I pay attention to that net volume at the bottom there too. Just I always find it odd when the premiums are like in this case the call premiums are going up and your net volume's negative. Did flip green positive there a little bit there, but yeah, just I always keep that top net impact chart open there just to kind of see how strong is what's pushing up the premiums there. So like This one, it's MU pretty much the only thing contributing to there. But now, like, go back to Friday. Look at the top net impact chart there. It's pretty much everything contributing there to the puts there. So I mean, it's kind of an easy way. I kind of look at it for like intraday breadth there. Like, okay, well, how strong is the pump in the tide there? Like it's MU, and I mean you got SPY premiums pushing it up there too. So
We did get a request for SOXS, and oh baby, is that bear ETF getting smacked today?
we can take a peek at that.
It's down
Let me
16% on the day currently. And I'm
Oof.
going to be real with you, man. There's not a whole lot of actionable flow. We've got a lot of open interest here on the sevens. It's way too hard to say if this is new positioning. Even on Friday, we had 32,000 volume and only 11,000 carried over. So on the 2-day, it looks like a shitload of stuff happened on Friday, but a lot of that's intraday garbage because only a third of that volume carried over. We're not seeing anything super special there. I don't know that I would be confident shorting semis. Personally,
Yeah,
especially with what we're seeing in the entire sector abroad, all the AI shit, a bearish 3x leveraged dealio on semis probably not my cup of tea right now. But there's not a whole lot of new positioning I'm seeing. Basically, every heavily traded contract today has myriad open interest. There's no telling whether any of these transactions or volume are new positions. There's too many open positions to form a firm hypothesis of new positioning. So I'm not going to try to. That'll feel a little forceful. We don't need to force shit. All I know is I wouldn't have the balls to be long a short ETF right now in chips.
Yeah,
Let's do that
especially
hood gamma as well. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
I was gonna say especially anything memory related.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, a quick scalp here and there, but yeah, long-term bias probably shouldn't be bearish right now.
Do I think it's going to explode someday? Sure. Am I going to try to front run that? Fuck no.
Yeah,
Look what happened to the people who tried to front run the .com bubble. They got their shit packed in as the NASDAQ just ripped like crazy before the crash. I'm not risking that. I'll wait.
I'll wait. Yeah. So, yeah, gamma heat map here, zone on hood here. Absolute gamma's at 90, so, you know, about $6 above us there. Put walls, 83. Very, very close to us there, so we got some decent support right there. Your call wall's at 90 as well, so that is your absolute gamma. Let's look at our kind of weekly numbers here. So, okay, we're trading at 84, 55, 50, so on. A lot of attention on that 87, 90, and 88 strike. So, you know, you're coming into that positive gamma, but you're heavy kind of, you know, pull magnets, whatever you want to call them. You're still got a little room up to them there. You know, that absolute gamma's at 90. Let's look at that 10-day one, too, because that's got a lot on it as well. Maybe a little resistance there at 85, but yeah, that heavy positive gammas there at that 90. So, you know, if you're targeting something, you know, kind of take a little gander look in these little guys right here. Yeah, that 10-day out, I like that 90 for the 10-day out there. I just wish we had some flow to kind of go with it. You might find flow, you might not find flow, you might find something in an hour that comes in. But yeah, right now
Hood's been a pretty messy name for the last year and a half when it comes to flow. Sometimes you'll see something really spicy and directional, but I've been noticing a lot more like what seems like hedging positions with Hood than usual. And you know, Hood is very tied to the Bitcoin market now. It kind of was back at $11 a share when I was feeling really bullish on it because of their Bitcoin holdings, because they hadn't really reported it in earnings yet. And ever since they started, I think at the time they had like $3 billion worth, but that was when Bitcoin was trading at like 40,000 the first time. And so I got obviously pretty gung-ho on Hood because of that. Because I hadn't accounted for, you know, Bitcoin ripping above 100,000 for a hot minute there. Those days are gone, unfortunately, but pretty much ever since then, Hood started really reporting that stuff on their earnings, blowing shit out of the water. The options market for Hood's been kind of a cesspool of everything going on all at once. Zavici wants to know how much caffeine we're drinking.
None.
Quite a bit for me. Fucking
I
essentially had an
have,
entire thermos of espresso. Now I'm onto a Diet Mountain Dew. Let's fucking party, homie.
yeah, I have water. I have water that I haven't even
I chugged
had
like a
yet.
gallon of water earlier, but I already did my piss break before the show, so we might not even have a piss break today. We'll see.
Hey, we'll see. Maybe I'll give us
Dude, those
one.
call premiums are
Um,
going too. I'm keeping an eye
yeah,
on this. We're coming up to a short zone on Nasdaq, but I don't have the balls to do it. We might break out.
look at my flow feed. There is just
That's pretty
absolutely
dry.
nothing
Yours usually
coming
hits a
in there.
lot faster than mine too.
Yeah,
A little less restrictive.
These GDSs might be a little interesting. The 71740 call we are getting an ascending fill here.
And a
Take a peek at
bunch of
these.
volume in there.
Yeah, yeah, this is responsible for the spike in the net call premium. No earnings. Million in premium. Yeah, I mean, I like these here. So again, it's coming in as a block trade there. So this is the first trade on the day, but I have contacts with this one there. So typically, if it's just that singular block trade there, I like to see how that flow before kind of reacts with it. But I have that second trade that comes in there, which is obviously a lot larger than that first one there. But I get
And
the
you know I
IV
like
spike
seeing low
there.
historic volume
Y-
floors too. I
Yep.
like see this is actually a good example of something I would consider potentially actionable
But
flow.
yep.
We've got over 8,000 volume on this bad boy, predominantly at the ask, with an ascending fill on the larger size. So
Yep.
they're still hitting the ask side on that. And it's low historic volume
I
floor. We've got that
yeah,
giant IV pop. Let's bookmark
I
this one.
like
I
these.
like it.
Yes.
I like it. I like seeing
Finally one. Ooh,
names.
there.
Yeah. I like seeing names that don't see action get action. That's when my eyebrow goes up. That's how we found that NVTS a year and a half ago that exploded like crazy on news. I'm not saying this will, but this is the kind of flow where I personally am going to put one contract on at least to see what it does. And it's far enough dated that there's some time on it. You're not going to get shellacked by theta overnight, but it's not so far out that it feels crazy speculative. This is the kind of flow that I like to see.
And look at that. This thing doesn't get a ton of.
What was
I mean,
that day?
it
Like a couple months ago. What the fuck was that?
let's go look at the overview here. Let me just do one more quick little thing
And this
on
is the
this
only
one here.
contract with any attention on it too. There's nothing
Yeah,
else going on.
this is interesting for sure. Yeah, I would. Those names where you don't see a lot of that flow, it's just always something that should catch your eye there. Let's see. See. Okay. Let me pop open the actual overview on it here. Yeah, I mean this is the only contract with any notable volume on it on the day here. I do want to look at that 61847 call. This looks like it's had open interest sitting in it for a while here.
Yeah,
Back
and
through
anytime we see a
February.
big pop in volume, nothing changes except for way back in January when 2000 got added. If you scroll through that, we're seeing 2000 contracts change hands several times over. Curious. So if you scroll up slowly
Yeah,
from
that's
there, you're going to see random flashes of 2000 volume with no open interest fall off. There's one right
yep.
there, only 400 fell off. So that is one of those 2,000 size
And then there's
positions
another
changing
guy.
hands. There's another one. So that makes me suspect the initial 4,000 volume's gone, and we're looking at two new positions there for roughly the same
You
amount of
can
size.
kind of see them coming in here. It looks like it's no side and then a big bid side. I do want to look at that initial kind of January.
I see the Periscope questions. They're working on the SPX pricing as we speak. I'm keeping an eye on that on the side. Don't worry, folks. They'll get it up. It is not on our side, but they're working on it. Got you. I got you.
So there's that 1.8 when it initially came in there. So they got a good move on there. I mean, 481 looks like got out at 435 maybe, or passed them off there on 435 on that first kind of candle. What was that second one? So I'm just trying to see if I can keep that initial entry in there without
hurting
fall
yourself.
off the map. Yeah. Okay, let's see.
Fuck, I hurt myself.
Nope. There we go. There we go. There's kind of a better view of it there. So yeah, I mean, were they short calls? Maybe 481. I mean, getting out at 435 and then 455 there. I mean, they missed the big pop there. I mean, they hit 816 for a couple days there. I mean, you just never know what they're doing. So like again, that's kind of why I always say like adjust your stops up. Like if you're in these at 481 and they're trading up at $8 a contract and you're not taking profits, that's on you if you're not if you're not doing something with that. I mean,
I would
that's
agree. Yeah, and
it's
don't get me
yeah.
wrong, I've done it.
Yep, I've done it too.
More than once have I
Pretty sure
fucked
everybody
myself.
has.
Yep,
Yep, just because the whale's still in doesn't mean you need to be in.
absolutely.
That's just kind of because you never truly know what they're doing. But yeah, I mean this, yeah, interesting there. But yeah, those are your handoffs there. So this whale, kind of like Nick was saying, is out there. But let's see, how about maybe this one here? So another one with a lot of volume, but this one a little closer dated here, and this one is still in. So if this came in on 529, let's just pop this here again. 154, and they were trading at 220. Let's just kind of go back and look at that tape there. Maybe if I can learn to click. Oh, big multi-leg trade. Look at that. 3-legged
50s and 45s.
So
I
one
don't
fill,
like
yeah.
those spreads, man. I would
Yeah, that's
almost be inclined to believe we're looking at a long on the 45s and a short on the 50s, but fuck me, that's hard to tell.
yeah,
It's
that's
also a ratio spread. You've got 5,000 on the 50s and only 2,500 on the 45s. Oh, man, I would
yeah, just
almost I'm gonna say something counterintuitive. It could also be a short on the 45 since they double sized the 50s, but that would be a little risky to do in my opinion. But all things considered, regardless of what side of this is short, they're getting basically a free trade. They're only at most receiving or spending about 150 grand for this position due to the offset of pricing here, 385, 388. Add that shit together, minus 638. That's the cost or credit of this position. But given these fills, the only one that's pretty confidently asked is the 45. So that makes me
yeah.
think the 50s might be short. But brother, that's too hard to tell. They all feel long, and I doubt they are personally.
And that is exactly why I avoid multi-leg trades because there's too many questions. I mean,
Unless it's
obviously,
like a
you see
really
a
clean
roll,
fill,
roll.
man,
Yeah,
it's hard. It's hard to say. And these
yeah.
are
If it's
one of them's a clean fill, but the way they're meshed together with those 40 or those 50s,
yeah, it's
I'm a little
just
less confident. Little less confident. I like seeing that IV jump. I imagine the
yeah.
45s probably jumped too.
They probably did. We
Yeah.
can go back if you want me to go back. We can look. Otherwise, I
Nah,
don't know if
let's
you.
still
No.
bookmark it.
Okay.
That's still good
Okay.
flow.
Okay.
Uh, I want to
I'll.
follow up on that. 102
Okay.
days
Let
out is
me.
a little far out for me. But today's flow was definitely interesting regardless.
Yeah. Yep. I got today's flow marked down. Yeah. Today's at least single legged. Looks pretty good. And I just want to look at the gamma profile on it quick here. The one thing we have not looked at there. Absolute gamma's at 34, so it's a little below. So look at all that
Topped out a little
acceleration
bit
zone
there,
in this
yeah.
thing. Look at a lot of acceleration on this one. 10-day out. Yeah, I mean that 34 is your closest there, but that's
Zoom tool on Discord is
there's just
fucking
not a
with me.
ton on this one. Yeah, there's just not a super good looking heat map, and that's
Which
okay.
I didn't expect it to be, because again, we are looking at a pretty low volume ticker here
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
options market. So it makes sense that we've got pretty wide gaps in the
It's yep,
gamma exposure because there's not a whole lot of positioning to be had.
yep, yep. Yeah, that call wall being up at 50 though, that's interesting to me. That net gamma does kind. I mean, it's more heavier net gamma on the 50 and the 45, but yeah, man, the negative gamma. This thing has a lot of negative gamma. So volatile name here. I want to see what the implied move is on this thing. Let's just see. Oops. 1 month.
Oh man, this bad boy's
I mean, it's
getting shit
gonna.
on, huh?
I mean, from now to July 17th, I mean, a plus minus 14
Yeah.
point move. I mean,
And if you
that's
look
a
at this
volatile
pattern,
name.
it's kind of forming that W I like to see when I'm looking for longs. Maybe we've found ourselves a little bottom snatcher here. Because this looks like it's trying to recover back up into that range above here. If I was scalping short, I wouldn't be short here. I think I kind of like GDS for a recovery.
Yeah, and then you have that flow today. The 50s looked very, I mean, good there. I mean, your IV rising, spot price rising. Yeah, I'd say I like that setup there. All right, let me
We
just
do have
see
a couple
anything
of
else coming.
requests on an interesting one we haven't looked at
Yeah.
before. Well, we've looked at it once, but it's been a couple months. OSCR, Oscar Health, I
OSCR.
believe. And somebody else noted as well that we've got a Goldman Sachs biomedicine conference today. And so some of the med names might have something interesting going on. And Oscar Health is up 7.5% today. So it might be worth looking
Interesting.
into.
Yeah, look, everything is just straight calls on my list on this right now. Yeah, let's look at that 612 here. Let's look
I'm
at
willing to bet some of these have
the.
run already too.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of guessing there. Yeah, I mean, well, we'll just look at a couple here for the fun of it. Pop this down here. All right, let's just kind of see. Yeah, I mean, again, real time though, you don't get a super clean read. It's just a ton of volume coming in on that name essentially, and you're pretty much split down the ask between ask and bid. Let's do the 29 call. Again, I mean, you got 425 there, 416 there. Just hard to know when this is a big mid-side candle right away, and this is split ask and bid. Like I want to see open interest on this one. The 612 here, I mean, is this 15-cent whale taking profits at 24 here? I mean, hard to know. And these did have some previous volume, which again, barely any of that carried over there too. So I mean, it's hard to know what's kind of being carried over here. Let me just pop this out. 2 days. Yeah, I mean, you got two big bid side contracts, and look at that. That must have been a intraday call sell yesterday. I mean, 15, and then they bottom back, and then you only have
We just hit a new high of
400.
day on NASDAQ. It is now up 2% on the day. A pretty good indication of why I wasn't chasing shorts on any rejection up here. So,
There you go.
nice pop in the
And then,
NAS.
yeah, so today on the Oscar, yeah, a little messy on this one, and then that 618 again, just big bid side candle, and they're in the money there. So like it's not anything super interesting. Let's just look at that overview. I mean, they are slamming the calls there, which I mean makes sense. You're up almost 8% on the day there. I mean, yeah, you just all your calls there. Let's just look at our gamma here. Absolute gamma's at
We're
25,
right up
so
into it.
little. Yeah. I mean, you're coming up to that call wall too. Let's just look here. Wait, no, call wall's at 35, excuse me, on that one. Yeah, I mean, we're just coming off that put wall there at 25. What were we trading at on Friday? Go back here. Friday was what? The 5th? Jeez, I don't even know my days. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, we're trading at 24-ish there on Friday, which, goes with that support kind of being a little, well, that put wall's at 25 there, so we were a little below that there. But yeah, I'm just kind of looking here. I mean, yeah, a lot of heavy net gamma on that 618 call expiration, that 115.27. I just want to look at that 618 here. 618.25 has a lot there. So again, just kind of keep that in mind there. That absolute gamma is below us. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to always go there, but it tends to act like a magnet there. But yeah, flow wise, I'm not really seeing anything kind of clean. Do one more quick little look in here.
I think a lot of the flow that we had on this at the open, I mean, it's kind of run its
Yeah.
course, you know.
Yeah, I mean, this one, the 1,334K open interest. Yeah, probably nothing in there. Oh, let's see this one here. Yeah, I mean, we got some ask side stuff coming in here at open, but it's not the cleanest. And are these ask side candles profit taking here, which would make some sense to me. I mean, initial volume came in at 171, and they're trading in the twos, the mid twos. I would be probably taking profits. I just want to look at Friday's flow. Yeah, I mean, there's not much for Friday either. I mean, look at those little candles there. And hey, we might have had some contracts exercised on Friday. These are 5% of the money. Look at all that volume, and it doesn't look like there's that full wait, hold on. Where's my math? Okay. Oh no, the big one came in. Okay, ignore me. I was like, where's all that volume? It just got mixed in with that one there. So a lot of that, there's your big 1,000 contracts. They're kind of from Friday that are carrying over. I was like, what is going on here? My math was not mathing. So yeah, I mean, this could be this whale getting out there. I mean, in at 167, 179, and just kind of sizing out slowly. This is one I'd want to come back and double check that open interest, and we can do that on Wednesday. That would be a good
Sure
one
can.
there. Check OI.
I'm just sitting here waiting for the Nasdaq to pull back enough for me, who is a coward with longs, to get long with them. I need a substantial pullback. I am a coward. I don't have the balls you saw me swinging around this morning with my shorts when I'm going long. So I'm waiting for a nice NASDAQ pullback, see if I can't get long and join them, or if we get a full reversal for me to short against them.
But yeah, so I'm not really seeing anything super new on Oscar that hasn't ran. So, I just might get something there. And, you're up 7% on the day, too. Like, I'm not a big fan of chasing when we're up that high. God, my flow feed is just dead, man.
Mine too.
What's
We've
our
gotten a couple of
volume
good names to
looking
break
like?
down during it, though, so it's kind of worked out. We have another ticker. This one we've certainly not looked at in the tech sector. Ciena, Cien. Looks like they're a communications company. Got bitch slapped today, but it looks like we've got a little bit of call premium coming in. I wouldn't get too crazy about the flow profile in the past. You can see that our net call premium spiking there in early June. Those are coming along with price action, not before price action. I prefer to see before. It looks like we have some intraday shenanigans on the first there, and then on the second, when we're already up, it's looking a lot like we just looked at with that last ticker. We've got call premiums coming in right along with a spike in the share price. But clearly we're down significantly from there. I'm just not seeing any preemptive options here on CN. But I'm curious about today's flow nonetheless.
Yeah, today's
pretty low
flow
volume
might be kind
ticker.
of interesting
Pretty
here.
low volume ticker.
Yeah, let's take a little peek here. Let's take a little peeky peek. So maybe that 717-650 call, I mean, it's your cleanest ask side. We also have that 717-800. Let's take a peek at those two. So big multi-leg, 97% multi-leg. Let's see. I wonder if it's related to that other call that we're going to take a peek at there. Oh, they are rolling up the strike there. So that 717, they're closing that 640 and rolling it up to the 650. God, what a big multi-leg trade guy.
Too spicy for me.
Yeah,
and it's pretty small size. It's pretty small size, and it's a very pricey shindig as well. Look how expensive that shit is.
Yeah, that's
Nasdaq new high.
Interesting there. And then I want to look at the other one as well. So that was the 800 call, which again is a big multi-leg trade coming off. Look at the previous volume on that thing too. I wonder if they're rolling out short calls. Look at that 2201, 862, 392. Yeah, I mean 68% out of the money. That's quite far.
Yeah, I'd say.
Ew. Here you go. I
Nope.
don't think this is the true multi-leg one here. Let me just find the
Not doing that.
big
Not doing
yeah, it looks like
that.
that's I think that's what yeah, here you go. You can tell
Super
me what this
clean, super
multi-leg is.
easy, super clean. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know about all
Yeah,
that, man. It does look like a
yeah.
risk reversal. The size is really small. We've got different expiration dates, a very wide range of calls to puts. I would almost, keyword almost, think that they're selling those puts and buying those calls and opening up a nice little bullish risk reversal there. But look at the size discrepancy. We've got a 2-to-1 aspect ratio on that. We've got 2x on the calls that are on the puts. Hard to read, man. I don't like the fills all that much either. Look at those bid-ask spreads, and their fills are basically smack dab in the middle of them. I don't like it. That's ugly.
Yeah, I'll say I'm a pass on that one too.
We have an outright contract request for a different name.
Yeah, let me
You want to take that gamma?
I just wanted to see on here. Yeah, I'm not really seeing much. 450. Yeah, it's a pricey stock too there. Okay, yeah. What's the one that
we're going to be peaking the Oracle ORCL $270 call weekly for the 12th.
And we have earnings coming up on
We sure
Oracle
do.
too. Oracle 270 put for the 12th. 612. You said 270, right? Am I crazy?
Let me double check again. The call. 270
call. Okay,
Yep.
okay.
If I said put, my bad. I'm stupid.
You're okay.
Dude, it is still just pouring out.
It stopped.
I started the show with wet ass hair because the dogs were fucking around. I had to stand in the rain. I had to change my shirt and everything.
We need some more rain. I'll take some more rain.
Yeah, our shit was really dry. I'll take it. It pools in our backyard. There's like a mud run there. And the dogs just get so fucking dirty, dude. It sucks.
Yeah, I feel that. So we have earnings this week on Oracle. So I'll take kind of any flow, at least, especially the weeklies.
Yeah, they are wondering
kind of with
if
a grain
maybe
of
an
salt.
earnings lotto on there. So
yeah, so and kind of with the earnings flow, just I'll kind of just mostly look at the ask side or bid side on it there. Just there's so many times where the flow can look textbook and it doesn't work out. So I kind of, I'm taking that flow with a really small grain of salt.
Plus, with that binary event of earnings right around the corner, you're going to see inflated implied volatility, which we are. And yes, we see the implied volatility rise as these orders come in. But literally any price fluctuation in the underlying is going to fuck with that. When it's that juiced, everything is going to cause a move. So it definitely maybe even a handful of salt. Yeah, I'm going to lean BTO on them, even though we have that open interest. That's going to be my presumption here. But again, like Anthony said, grain of salt. IV's already juiced just because of earnings around the corner. Careful with these always.
And it's weird how this one hits tape though. I mean, you're up about. I mean, you're at 211.72 when it comes in. That IV actually dropped when it came in, which is, I mean, it's $1 difference there, and it's only about a minute difference there. So I mean, that's just it's not the best looking tape there. Obviously, and again, here's a good example. So even if every little piece of context hits your flow, like there, I was saying I didn't kind of like the IV there, but look at that 183 and they're trading at 214. So I mean, it's not a perfect science where it's going to work every single time, or it's not going to work.
And you can even see a lot of handoffs on days prior. Look at yesterday's volume to the open interest drop. That's just some intraday shenanigans.
Yeah.
We've got that big spike of 1,000 volume on Friday and only 45 change in the open interest. It looks a little bit to me like maybe somebody closed out a position and somebody else opened it. Or, equally as likely, look at how all of these bars are popping in throughout the day. It could just be a lot of intraday shenanigans, too.
Even, I mean, the past week or so, I mean, it's just, heavy volume there, and you're just not seeing big open interest changes. Let me just pop this 7
Oh, and this
days.
request was from our man Grift Lord on YouTube. Thanks for coming back, homie. Love seeing you in chat.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks. Feel free to always drop requests. Yeah, I mean, like, there's just too much kind of going on this one. Today's volume, though, the 1,000, I mean, it looks like it's opening. There's just kind of a lot going on, and again, earnings there. Anything else interesting for Oracle? Let's see. I mean, they're getting a spike in that put premium there. I could see, people trying to snag calls on it just with a lot of those other previous software names just absolutely running after earnings. But, it's every company is different. Every earnings period is going to be different. It's a gamble. Just I always tell people, if whatever money you're dumping into an earnings plate, you have to be okay losing 100% of that. Just when you hit that button, just you gotta think in your mind that it's gone and you're not going to see it again, because the odds are you're probably not going to see it again. Unless you're Jay-Z and you're somehow just
for fuck's sake,
earnings master.
I don't know. I don't even know. I don't know how he does it. He just.
And I just want to see how that. I mean, the good thing about this though is it does like to hit its implied move there. I mean, it's favors hitting an implied move again. It just doesn't.
Damn, look at that blowout.
Yeah.
In quarter 325. Holy shit.
35%.
Less than a 10% implied move, and they broke through to 36%. This is a kind of profile though. If you're constantly doing earnings shenanigans and you have a bias one way or the other, this is what you like to see in their historical earnings moves. Because the way these implied moves work is it's how the options market's pricing in the move based on the pricing and the volatility of the options market. If it goes outside of these ranges, that's when you start seeing profitability. Once it's outside these little gray zones, that means the options mispriced the move. And so you kind of need to see that on earnings. Otherwise, that implied volatility is going to absolutely destroy you. So this is an okay enough profile if you're an earnings trader, but you still have to hit the correct side. And you want to see stuff like these guys. The quarter 1, 2024, all the way through quarter 3, and then obviously these quarter 2 and quarter 3 of 2025. You want to see that type of shit if you're trying to play earnings, because that's when you're going to start seeing those contracts profit. When you start seeing a company really stay inside its implied move, that means the options market is pricing correctly the move, and you're not going to really see as much movement in those, and you might even see a loss even though you're right. Not an awful earnings profile if you are an earnings degenerate.
The nice way of saying it there. Just kind of the read there. Yeah, those are already up there too. So I mean, earnings lotto possibly. Just not for me. I'm not paying almost $200 for a contract.
Yeah, I'm not buying a $200 lotto ticket. But hey, if you're swinging a big dick bankroll, dude, you do you.
Yeah,
those are up nice already too. Shit, son. What was that, like 183 to 216 maybe?
215. Yeah.
Damn,
so,
dude.
I mean, decent little move there.
Nice little pop.
So again, I mean, just doesn't necessarily mean they're gonna hold them till earnings. Like they could just be playing the momentum up today too. But real time, just looking at it there. Again, I saw that IV decrease as that price is going up. It's just kind of odd there. And again, like Nick's saying too, it's earnings week, that it's going to be bouncing around. It's going to be volatile. So you just got to kind of take that flow with a grain of salt there. And, I kind of just mostly lean, okay, it's ask side. Maybe a buy there, just hard to know with earnings.
We're already at the top range of the straddle in the SPX.
Dude.
Yeah, man. I told you. I've been sitting on my hands waiting for a new short opportunity or a much cleaner long entry. Not really getting either of those. So I'm just sitting on my hands on the scalps right now.
Messy.
We are up on account A and a little bit down on account B. So we're being chill here. We're just waiting. Right now it's stair-stepping up and to the right pretty cleanly. But you know me, I want the cleanest, safest entry for longs because I am a coward with longs. So I'm fucking waiting, man. You guys can keep those flow requests coming. We're not doing anything else right now. So
Look at that tide now too. That top net impact chart changed a little bit. Now you're starting to see a little more participation in that too. That's when it starts to kind of be that stronger bounce there. Man, my flow filters or my flow feed has just been quiet though.
we got another one. We can take a look at ticker ABAT. Somebody noted a post Snorlax just put up about 5 minutes ago. 5.8 times normal daily volume, and half of that is on a single contract, the $7 call for August. August 21st.
Said ABAT?
Yes, sir.
Why is it not populating for me? Come on. There we go.
There you
go. Okay. Ooh, big spike. Yeah. Woof.
Yeah. And over half of that is on one contract. Right there, that top contract, that's 7. Let's take a look at that bad boy, because that's interesting, and it's already running. What even is this company? I don't even know what this
American
is.
Battery something. American Battery Technology.
Oh, shit.
Let's see. American Battery Metals Corporation engages in mining, extraction, recycling of battery materials.
Lithium mofos.
Yeah, let's
see where that size came in.
Yeah. So
there's one, 2400 there.
Yeah, look at that big IV spike. Yeah, this is really good looking flow. Repeated hits, ascending fill. IV's increasing as it comes up. Spot price is increasing. A little drop there.
Little spicy.
Yeah, we can come back and take a peek at it. Because there was one that, I always get cautious when you see that kind of quick big run up.
Granted, it's a $5 stock, so 30% isn't as dramatic as it might be on like Nvidia. But
let's come back to this one. I just want to see, and look at that. The price is going up too, and that IV's dropping. That just it catches your. It's a yellow flag. It's a yellow flag there, and then. But then look after there again. It's still that you got more at 957,
and that
13 in that IV
volatility. Yeah,
and your spot price increases. Yeah,
I am seeing buys to open on this.
Yeah,
this is good flow. Save this. And again, I brought it up before, and if you're just coming in, it bears repeating. We have an office hours site now. The Thursday Discord stream that also goes on Twitter and YouTube, and more importantly, the Wednesday right after the trading show on Zoom. Snorlax goes over the basics, general onboarding for the site. This ABAT is a damn good example of why Snorlax is the GOAT. He finds the coolest flow and always worth talking about. So if you are new to options or even just new to the site, definitely tune into that one specifically. Very, very important stream every week.
Yeah, that's a good one. At first, I was going to say he didn't post that one when I saw that weird IV drop there, and then scroll up a little bit, and I'm like, okay, I see why he posted it there.
Yeah, it's an explosion of volume this name doesn't see. Almost 6 times its average, and the vast majority of it is on this $7 call itself alone.
I do
close enough dated that if something crazy happens, I wouldn't be too surprised. It's just worth noting that it is up over 25% today. So it's like $1, right? $1. Yeah, it's up $1.
Up over 25%. Try 30%.
it that's not indicative of anything crazy. It could just keep running. We ran into that with that LPTX. We ran into it with MVTS. A lot of spikes of call premium over time here. And here we finally start getting that move as well from down near $3. And then obviously this pretty fucking baller bounce going into today. Definitely savable flow. I like it.
Yeah.
I would want to keep an eye on this gamma zone too, because we're right up against the upper end of that range.
Yeah, let's see. We're
Man, what the fuck happened in October? Jesus Christ.
I mean, it's because you're technically, your put wall here, you're sitting on that support. So, it's interesting. And there'll be a big change in that absolute gamma tomorrow after that there. But yeah, look, you're sitting right on that put wall there, and that call wall's up at 5. Yeah, you're sitting on that support. It's interesting.
We're gonna have to revisit that one. That one's spicy.
Yeah, that's a good looking piece of flow there. Usually you don't have to check Snor's flow at all, and you're just, oh, okay, tell me about it. Just tell me the strike and expiration. This one, 1600 there, we got 8, 11, yeah, kind of close to that size. I would double check that open interest. I would assume it's probably going to carry over. I mean, it's coming in kind of that same time as that other flow. I just want to see what else we got here. Another 3,300 on these. Yeah, this has already kind of moved though, and there's a lot of open interest on this one. Let's just see if, yeah, a little too much on that one. Yeah, the one that's Snore. Yeah, that's a good find there. That 821.7.
His tend to be. Offsides Yank
I mean,
asked in chat how we feel or break down long-term things like call leaps. I don't tend to trade leaps. I'm not much of an investor. I'm very much an intraday guy. I do take like weekly swings in options, but I'm not somebody who's sitting in an options position for months. And I'm not much of a shares buyer either, so I don't really deep dive companies for the most part. When I trade options, it's almost entirely flow. Sometimes I'll reference the chart nowadays since I'm a scalper for the most part. But generally speaking, I just find flow I like, and if I like it enough, I trade it. Man, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't really look at company moats or financials. The only times I even really talk about those is when I do one of the Unusual Whales interviews with a much smarter person than me. You going for it?
Yes, I'm going.
You're
in
going
for it. I'm gonna let this
it.
one ride for a little bit.
Oh man,
there.
that's a long stop. You
I
want
like
to target that
74.95.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah,
I ain't getting long here because I'm a coward, but
I'm gonna let it sit for a little bit.
It's pretty clean stair step up so far throughout the later morning session here. Yeah, I mean, it could pull back quite a bit and stay bullish. I don't hate buying the top here personally. I don't have the balls for it. You know me, I need my pullbacks to be comfortable with the long. But this is pretty bullish. I would say as long as they hold above that 468 area, pretty good chance we keep riding up toward that positive gamma. And if not, I think there's more entries down here if you get stopped out. So I wouldn't be sweating this position too much.
I don't want to get wicked out, so that's why my stops are. My stops there for an emergency if we did get a fall out there. I mean,
we're right up against, let me pull this up. Yeah, we're right up against 7464 on SPX here. But that 7495 up there, definitely an eyebrow raiser. If they can break through this little bit of positive gamma we're touching, don't give a firm rejection that just knifes this negative gamma. Because you can see this negative gamma is moving positive too. They might be setting up some good supports here. So if we get a pullback, I'll probably long with you. Let's keep an eye on it. I like that buildup up there.
I'm hoping I'm out of my long before you can kind of jump me. Not to be selfish.
I'll hope
I am going to kind of...
I will say every time we started dipping on the NASDAQ and I was looking for a new entry, they bounced long before I would have been able to get in anyway. So hopefully I'm wrong there and they just push up toward that positive for you.
Take it. I'm just going to move it up a little bit. I'm up $15. I'll take it. I'm just, okay. I feel I took a quick 15 minutes there. You know what? That's okay. That's okay. I get nervous longing the highs there. Just,
I don't blame you. I mean,
look at the wicks. Look at the wicks on these here. The wicks are what kind of,
I think they might give you another entry.
I think so too.
Down here. I would wait to see what they do with these negative gamma zones. Because we just flipped positive down here below that negative gamma zone. They're moving the positioning that we traded to the downside earlier. They're moving those positionings up. So I'm still looking for opportunities to
90
long.
Foot.
Personally.
I'm going to get back in long again here, I think, too. I want to see this negative gamma because that 60 could kind of... Man, if we could get a pullback here to 40 there, that'd be ideal. I don't think we're going to see that far of a pullback.
I don't know if we go that far. If we end up going that far, I think we're going to be reversing to the downside again. But let's see what they do.
74, yeah, that 80 and that 95 keep growing, and they're building up. You know what? I'm going to snag. If we come back down here to kind of my entry here, dang.
Yeah, they're going to go without you now.
It's going to, yeah. I don't want to chase in the middle there. I was just watching that negative gamma. I didn't want to get it. I didn't like that, but we'll see. See if we get another one. Yeah, I like that build up there. I like that build up there.
I want to see put premiums push up while we're at the upper end of the range here. and I want to see a rejection because you know me. If I get an opportunity to sniff out a short, I'm gonna. So I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting. Again, we're up on one, down on the other. We're in profit for the day. I'm not gonna get too greedy and try to push it. But man, that 7475 negative gamma is really appetizing. So is the 7480 to 95 positive gamma. I think we might get a little pullback first. So I'm just gonna.
Yes,
I'm
I'm watching for that. My ideal entry. Maybe we get down to that 69ish area.
I would like to see the NASDAQ drop into the 660s for a really confident long. I don't know they're going to do that, though. They've just been going. They've just been going without me.
Yeah,
I'm very risk-averse with longs, so I'm going to sit on my hands and wait for a cleaner entry, or wait to see if we get some bearish motion happening again. I'm not going to hold my breath for that. We're up almost 2.5% on the NASDAQ now, up over 1% on the ES. It's seeming like the reciprocal of Friday currently. I'm not going to fight it. I'm going to wait. Today's the kind of day I'm not trying to go counter trend, which is like against my very being. But there's too much potential to the upside, and I'm not gonna try to short the top here.
Yeah.
Unless they break down the last range, then yeah, I'll go in. But right now we're sitting.
I know that straddle cone doesn't, it's not a support or resistance or anything, but yeah, it's just kind of riding it right now. I just feel like we're maybe trended up a little bit, possibly. But man, I don't like us sitting right on top of that negative gamma because you can just get a quick whoosh right back down there to 40. But that's a big drop if we get one that quick.
We would need some pretty aggressive sellers for that. So I lied and I did short the top, but I'm already taking profit here at about 15 points. Again, there's no holding shorts right now, in my opinion. If you're swinging it like that, you got to keep it small and pretty tight ranges. Because look at that, right where I exited, we bounced. Look at that, right off of it. 710s, and now they're gonna go push a new high here, I think. So we're not gonna get too fucking cheeky with that. We'll wait. We'll hold off. Folks, you got plenty of more time with our goofy asses. If you guys got more flow requests, feel free to drop it down. What's the advantage of watching E-mini versus SPX or SPY? I don't know that there is an advantage. I just trade futures using SPX gamma exposure on the Unusual Whales Periscope tool. That's what you're looking at on the screen right now. These inflection points are targets. These ranges are potential acceleration through the reds. That's about all there is to it. I just I learned how to scalp on the NASDAQ, and so I'm on the micro NASDAQ for these scalps, but I'm regarding this SPX data on Unusual Whales to help make my decisions. But I don't know that there's any potential, like, advantage, I'd say. They move in tandem.
Yeah,
They're the same thing, different instruments. Oh man, just a dude asked what flow filters do you guys use? There are so many, but we're not really doing anything else. We can break down your main one if you want, Anthony.
Yeah, do you want me to create one from scratch and just kind of go from there and show?
Yeah,
that,
we could do that if you want.
Okay.
Just basically build out one of your filters and just little tidbits on why. And then, Waldo, I see your requests. We'll get to those after a little filter builder. We haven't built a filter on the show in a hot second, so we might as well.
Yeah, let me. So
I'll leave it full screen. Actually, I'm gonna let me see if I can make this a little cleaner. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second.
All
give me
right.
1 second. Just talk some shit, sing or something. Whip it out. I don't know.
I don't.
I gotta find a different scene to use. I gotta get rid of that little WhaleWatch guy in the bottom so they can actually see the filters cleanly. I just can't remember where Tucker sent that, so now I gotta find it.
If Tucker would show up to work, that would help.
All right, scrolling. These are all thumbnails. What the fuck, man? I had him make a blank one, didn't I? Yeah, I did. He made a blank one for me. Just where the fuck did he send it? Where did we do that? Is it way down here? Is that it? Nope, that's cameras. Nope, I'm an idiot. All right, I'm still looking. I'll get there eventually. Here we go. Scrolling. Where is it? Where is that shit? Where is that shit? I'm good at my job, I swear to God. I do everything preemptively. I don't forget about shit ever. Let me download that. I'll just put it there for now. Let me add it. I will reorganize everything later. Right now, I just want a clean backdrop where people can actually see what the fuck we're talking about.
I'm gonna look at these NVIDIAs here on the weekly as you're doing that here. We just
There
had
we go. Got it.
7,300 contracts coming at $4 a contract, 1% out of the money. It looks like it's a momentum chaser. Let's just look at the flow here.
Might finally get the pullback
59.
I'm waiting on. If they reject and go full bearish on me, I'll be pissed. But I'm waiting.
I don't like this one, actually. I don't like that price rising and that IV dropping. So maybe not, but interesting. Interesting.
And I missed the pullback entirely. God damn. Oh well. I would
You
love
just
them
blame
to flip
Tucker for
bearish.
it. Send Tucker a bill.
Yeah. All right, you're good to go whenever you are ready.
All right, let me just pop this guy in my thing quick. Give me 1 second here. Yeah, these are, you know, you're up on the day here. You know, it's just kind of one of those potential. I mean, I'd probably lean buy to open, but you get the good IV spike when it comes in, spots filling at the ask here. Then you start to kind of see that IV drop off here at the end as that price is going up. That's the part I don't like about it there. That's the only part I don't like about it there.
Before you get to your filter builder, it is time.
All right, you have fun. I'll hang out with myself.
It'll be a blast, I'm sure.
All right. All right, you do.
All right, I'll be back.
Okay. All right, let's see what else we got here. So we'll kind of get this set up for when he gets back to do the filters. But yeah, I'm just kind of looking through my flow feed right now. Not much at all. I mean, this is that first trade on the day, and we're already 2 hours into the session almost there. Some market tide looking. It's still bullish there. Yeah, we're sitting right on top of that negative gamma still there. Yeah, seems like that positioning's still up. I mean, it is up, but man, just kind of choppy more so. All right, let's just take a peek. So, okay, kind of popping a little bit there. Yeah, coming off that negative gamma there. That's the spot I was kind of watching there. They are short calls though, so interesting. All right, yeah. All right, I'm gonna get my feed ready for him when he pops in here. So I'm gonna make him tweak out when he sees this initially. At least when Tucker's usually here, like, you know, I got somebody to talk to, but whew. All right, why are you tweaking out on me, feed? All right. I hear him. Here he comes.
I'm alive.
You hear him say, "Yeah, dude." At least when Tucker's here, like I have somebody to talk to. Like I just feel like I'm talking to myself right now.
If you wanna,
you might be.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say you might be getting your pullback right now.
Yeah, I missed the one that went about 20 points lower earlier. But that's all right. If I don't take another scalp, I don't care. We did good this morning.
But all right, I'm ready.
Just a dude, we can let's build out one of the filters you like to use.
Let's build one here,
and then we'll hit a couple more flow requests before we fuck off into the ether. But I'm gonna go ahead and mute myself so I don't interrupt your builder, and we'll go from there.
You're good. So this is the importance of building a filter. Unusual Whales is going to pick up every single option trade that comes into the market there. You don't need that there. So this is what it looks like. Obviously, you absolutely can't do anything with this. So let's just build like an ask side filter. So kind of we're looking for flow that's, you know, potentially buying a call or selling a put, or buying a put or buying a call there. So right off the bat, I'm going to get rid of bid side. I'm going to get rid of no side. I'm going to get rid of mid side. So obviously you still have a ton of stuff coming in here. So your ask side percent, this is where I usually start. And again, you don't have to keep these static. They can change based off like how slow the market's moving, how quick the market's moving. if you're getting a ton of flow, I typically would pop that up. So let's just pop this up to at least 70% ask side there on the filter. So this is going to pull in everything that's only 70% on that chain. So again, we still need to kind of whittle that down, because you can see, like here, it's 2 contracts coming up. You can't really see it, but dude, look at all those targets hitting. So it's going to still mark a bunch of, crappy contracts there. So we want to get rid of ETFs. I want to get rid of indexes. I leave ADRs on it, up to you. But so again, you can see that flow feed kind of quieted down. So now you're looking for premium. So I want something like, I only want trades that are at least, let's just say 40,000 coming in here. So you can see how quieted down that flow feed got there in the time there. So you can kind of, your goal is to not, super limit the flow feed, but you want to limit it enough so you're not getting junk. So, okay, yes, I'm starting to get some more flow here. I'm not trading contracts that are 129 bucks a contract. I'm going to put that spot price. I don't want anything larger than $6 a contract. So that's going to really whittle that down there again. So, okay, right off the bat here, look, some 618 HPE 52 calls. These might be of interest here. So, okay, good. We found a nice opening trade here. 3,000 contracts against 1,300. This is an opening trade. Let's take a peek here at the flow. And let's pop this down here. Pop this one more time. So I like that IV spike when they come in. Spot fills with the ask. So you can just see how you did a super simple filter there, and you found a decent looking trade already here. So like these HPEs look interesting to me. They look pretty good there. And the premium, it's only, I was going to say it's only 670,000. This is pretty big premium on that there too. So I mean, like, that's what should be kind of catching your eye, stuff like that. But again, and you can kind of switch this in here. So like if you want shorter dated contracts, like just let's say 20 days or less out there. So if you're, looking for a momentum trade, maybe something quicker, that day's expiration is your friends there. So it's gonna just obviously hit your kind of targets more so there. And you can do that volume over open interest here. There's just a little tab down here. I just usually leave it volume over open interest. So it's gonna just, that volume has to be greater than that open interest for it to hit that feed there. I don't trade multi-legs, but I leave them on just in case there's a big large multi-leg trade on a different, or on the same name you're looking at. So like if let's just say there's a massive like 100 million multi-leg trade on Nvidia there. I want to kind of know about it. I want to know there's something there. Doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to trade it or anything. It's just nice to know that there's maybe a big multi-leg name attached to that, and it can impact price or whatever can potentially happen. But like here, like the Nvidias, we actually looked at these ones here too, and that was one of the kind of IV there. But like you can see how quieted down that flow feed got there, and it makes it a lot easier to look through something like this here. I keep aggregated trades on there. It just highlights the trades that are kind of coming in like this here. Quick pace, I mean that same second essentially there. Those are the ones usually I click on first and I start looking through first. Yes, these, like the Amazons here, these look good too. I mean, they're just, not marked as an aggregated trade there. So like here, I mean, you can just like come in here, and I mean these, more of a mid-fill almost on those, but you kind of get the preface behind making the filters there, and they do have custom filters already as well. So if I go to the options screener here, they do have some, unusually bullish there, unusually bearish names coming in there. So again, just because it's marked as that bearish, so you still got to do the due diligence, because it's just hitting that is that, like it's coming in at the ask there more so there. So it's unusually bullish there. But again, I always got to kind of go in, do the due diligence on the flow there. But yeah, that's kind of how I like to do that. And I believe Mr. Whale can make you filters too. I think.
Sure
Maybe.
can.
Yeah. I don't think we've tried that yet. Yeah, let's make it so that's kind of how I do it by hand, but like let's see if Mr. Whale makes this one here. Um, can you make me a good ask side filter? I wanna. Jeez, okay. I need to do better at the typing. Ask side filter. That's catching opening trades only with ask side percent at least 60%. Jeez. 60%. No more than 20% multi-leg. No ETFs, indexes, days to expiration, no greater than, let's just do 30 DTE. I think I got everything. So let's just see if it'll make a filter. And you can just describe, that's what I like about this too. If you just want a filter, you just want it to kind of whittle it down. You can do it this way too. So here's a solid filter, and it's cool because it creates it for you. You can just click it in that option feed, and there's your filter, and you can adjust it to how you like as well there too. So like if I want to take off multi-legs here, take off multi-leg. Hey, why did that not?
Real quick, baby, we are big green on the second account now. I'm taking this trade off all the fuck ready. We went from negative 150 to positive 190 on account number 2. Sorry to interrupt. I hate interrupting flow builders, but I caught this short. Let me turn on my execution. This is purely price action short. Didn't even look at Periscope for this one. Execution marks. You see me taking little paper cuts up here at the top, trying to catch the top. Then, like I told y'all, I waited for this guy. Right here off of this dump, they bounced on up and rejected the bottom of that range toward the highs. So I slapped on bigger size than I usually do. Had my stop above that green candle because that would indicate that they're returning to that support. They failed, and so I took it. We got about 30 points on that trade, and I'm content with that. We might be done scalping for the day there, up about 250 on account 1 and 190 on account 2. This can keep going without me, and I don't give a shit. Good morning to us. Yeah, I'm thinking so, BK. I'm thinking so. Yes, if SPY was topping, it sure feels like it, but I think I'm going to ride into the ether on that. Let's
that was a perfect call out too about Periscope there. I was cautious about that negative gamma there, and there we go, right down there, and we hit 74.60. I didn't think we were gonna hit that.
Me neither.
I didn't think.
No, it's a good example too.
I'm snagging along. Watch me take a long here though. Watch me be ballsy and take a long.
A good example too of sometimes just not trading is the trade. I would put it below that red candle. Yeah. Don't take it.
No. I'm taking this baby up. Watch that. I'll trail that thing up. I will trail that thing up.
So what's your reasoning for how you trail? Because when I'm getting a move, I'll trail to the 1 minute. You seem to just kind of trail. I think it can bounce here. This is a bounce spot. I would look for it.
It seems like a bounce spot there.
That yellow one you have on, or the white one rather.
Which one? Like 200.
I could see them testing that, and I would short it.
Yeah.
But right now, as it stands, we might be getting our actual reversal I was waiting for. But I'm already out of that trade, so it doesn't really matter. You got a nice little $20 there, though.
Hey, I'll take it. I like the quick little candle scalps like that right there, especially in the vol.
I might get you on the NASDAQ yet, man, because that style fits the NASDAQ better because it'll take 20 to 30 points on that same wick that you got 5 points on. But again, it's something to get used to. It moves fast and it'll wick you out way harder than ES does.
Yeah, I mean, we're on that 40 where I was kind of looking for that support. Look at all that upside kind of dropping a little bit now. Yeah, I'm probably done for the day off that there. I kind of like those quick moves there, and you hit that big positive gamma spot there. Probably get a quick little. I mean, market makers are gonna buy into that dip there, so I'm just kind of looking for a quick move. I don't care if I score if it's only $20-30 there.
I shorted again.
And I'm happy I got out. I am happy I got
All right,
out.
guys, I'm actually done.
I am happy I got
All right,
out.
guys, I'm actually done. I took literally the same pattern we just traded to get positive. I'm not going to push for more. We're 250 on account A, 366 on account B. If we keep this up, I will show you the most, well, not the most important part of trading is risk management and not losing your money. But since we've been trading prop accounts on here until I get the new live account set up, I'm going to do, hopefully on Thursday, the more important thing that we all trade for, which is pay yourself. So I'm hoping we can do some of that later. But we had a fucking good morning, Anthony.
Yeah, that's hey, mine's up. Hey, $25. Hey, look at that.
Take
Paid
it.
for lunch. I'm only trading 2 contracts on here too. I mean, if I was doing NQ,
You're still
I mean,
feeling it
if
out, getting used to it.
if that was NQ too, that'd be a lot.
We do not
more
gain
than
shame on this show. Gains are gains. If you're walking away green, you fucking killed it that day.
And this is a prop account too, just FYI for those watching. Yeah, this isn't
We'll
my real
be
account.
now. Granted, the prop accounts I'm trading are live accounts. It's real money. It's real losses. But don't worry, we'll be back on a full live personal account soon. Very soon. I talked about it earlier in the show. We got shellacked with the show account on Webull, not allowing us to close a position. And I'm still pissed about that. But might be coming back on Tasty Trade. If you're not aware, Unusual Whales is partnered with Tasty Trade, going to give their futures a spin. But stay tuned for that. It's going to be the same shit, just a different account. Same risk, different account. But we killed it today, man. I got no complaints.
We are melting down.
Yes, sir. We caught that
so
shit.
now, so I technically got out right at the top there.
You did.
Actually.
You did.
That's okay though.
Are you finished with the flow builder? I'm gonna be real. I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, I'm pretty done there. I had Mr. Whale build it, then just
Dope.
if you want to customize anything in here, yeah, feel free
We can
do
go
that,
ahead and pop up a couple more of these requests we've been sitting on. Our man Waldo. We kind of already talked about Nokia, but we can look at that COHR for Waldo in the YouTube chat. I don't think we've really looked at COHR before, have we?
No, I have not really seen much on this.
I don't reckon
name.
it's up though. Nice little move
yeah.
for Coherent. IVII Incorporated. Global leader in engineered materials and optoelectronic devices, components, vertically integrated manufacturing. I know some of those words.
A lot of bid side put premium today. Call premium coming in. Looks like that these puts here probably maybe getting out there. See nothing on the put side of things there. But these 717-420 calls. Hey, look at that.
Ooh,
200. Yeah, these are pretty pricey though. $51 a contract. Geez, what do you guys think you are, me? Dropping high price contracts in the
yeah, now you know how I fucking feel every time you did it. You bastard.
Hey, well, you know, somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to do it. Yeah, I'm just kind of looking here. I'm not seeing much for kind of new volume coming in here. Maybe that 618, 392, 5. I would want to double check open interest on it. I mean, they're both 100 size there. One's filling at $42 a contract. The other one's 40 a contract. You know, it just double check that open interest. Could be a quick in and out. You never truly know. I would probably assume. Oh, I had a big sneeze.
That was so fucking violent, too. It's too bad I didn't have the cameras on, because holy shit, you looked like you died for a second.
I tried to get the mic muted quick, and I couldn't get it up all the way.
It didn't come through. It didn't come through, though. You're good. You're
okay.
Good. You didn't blow out any eardrums like I do as soon as I open my mouth for half a second.
That would have been bad. Yeah, that just I double check open interest on this. I would probably assume it's going to carry over there, but I'm not seeing much for anything new on it. I don't know how the gamma profile looks on this one. Absolute gamma at 450, so yeah, pretty far above us. That 10-day out. Oh, there's a lot of negative gamma on that 370. Yeah, that gamma kind of seems like it might be at least shorter dated, more positioned down. Spot price, so we are coming off that put wall there at 402. 50. Yeah, Caldwell's up there. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of kind of net gamma on the negative side on this one too. So it's kind of split 50-50 overall, kind of there for me. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything new for flow really though
Nearly a 100
on this
point
one.
bounce so far off of that NASDAQ dip. We low-key bottom ticked that with our short exit, folks. Clean. And this was the full target I talked about earlier. Let me get that shit out of here. Who cares about that? We're done for the day. This guy right here, the top of this candle that rejected initially before the support that took us to new highs, we just tested that perfectly from above, right there at the 550s. I feel really good about that exit. We got right out of there just in time before the buyers showed back up and said, bears, fuck off. It's our day today. You guys had Friday. Fair enough. I'm done for the day on that. Fair enough, NASDAQ. Fair enough. Let the bulls have some fun. We dancing rainbow bears had our fun on Friday. It's your turn.
Hey, look
Go
at
for it,
that.
Kings. Yeah.
It hit that 200 just like you
It
said
sure
there. But I
did.
mean,
Now it's
I would have
reclaiming.
had to would have had to
Yeah,
get through that
You
drawdown
would have
there.
had some
But you know what?
serious drawdown.
That's
But hey,
that's okay.
we're sniping. You'll get there. You will
That's
soon be
okay.
as confident on ES as you are with SPX, and we're gonna have some serious fireworks. We're gonna have a stream eventually, folks. That is all futures using options data, and I think Anthony and I are gonna have some fun. I'll get some other futures traders on the show to talk some shit. A lot of different trading perspectives that I want to have on the show, and we're gonna be branching that out pretty soon in the near time frame. We'll have some other people on here punting contracts in ways that we don't. You'll find that my shit is annoying and sporadic because I'm hypomanic 9 times out of 10. And you saw my execution marks. I will take paper cuts repeatedly until I size into the move I'm trying to play. And right now we are outside of that. We're already as well on Periscope.
Yeah, we're
pushing nicely
up.
back into that negative gamma zone. We just set a pretty wide range here, honestly. That 74.30 and that 74.95.
I can't believe we went down and tested that. I seriously
expected
can't believe that we came
74.40
down.
tops, but even that, I
but-
didn't expect. Nice pullback. That was a perfect long entry. It's
that's
an
what we were
ongoing
talking
joke
about.
in the Unusual Whales Discord server, the Periscope channel. It's an ongoing joke that if I close my short, you should go long. And honestly, that might be a real strategy at this point. Because I close my short and look at that long. That long just without us. One day I will have the balls to just jump on the other side. But I don't. I'm happy with my shorts. And that's all there is to it today. But really, we went from no solid Periscope setups to 3 in a row in pretty real time now. So it just goes to show how important it is to have this actual data directly from them of market maker attributed exposure. These updates, it changes intraday repeatedly. So it's good to have that context if you're an intraday scalper. I can't emphasize enough how fucking important Periscope is to my trading now. I will not trade without that thing going. You even saw I didn't take any trades until it was fixed.
I was gonna say that too. I'm like, you're trading naked. Like I can't.
I feel blind.
It's weird. Yeah,
it's the
like,
same. It's the
I'm
same
going off-
price action strategy I've always used for my shorting. But Periscope.
You just like to see the data.
Yes.
That you got to have the data.
It gives me confidence and a visualization. Dude, the temptation to jump into another trade. I can't. I'm actually gonna go. I'm gonna go straight up lock myself out of these accounts. For the day, because we killed it this morning. I have no complaints whatsoever today. They just made me work for it a little bit. They made us work for it a little bit. But that Periscope setup was too hard to ignore. That topping on SPY was too hard to ignore. We nailed that short, my friends. All right, what the hell were we even talking about before I got all distracted? AP Research, Alpha Picks. What's going on, homie? Popping into the Substack chat.
Yeah, we looked at man, I don't even remember what we just got done looking at. Man.
It's gone. It's gone. I already forgot.
Yeah,
I already forgot.
Yeah, I was just
But hey, that's how we scalp futures with Periscope, homies. That's how it's done. What a day. Felt good.
And I think too, to kind of touch on the Periscope about me taking profits so quick. I'm still so used to just trading 0-day SPX contracts.
You're just expecting theta to rip you open.
Yep.
What a
Yeah.
perfect rejection spot, too. Right off of the end. You see right here, zoom in on your chart, actually. Go back to that quick. This is exactly how I scalp short. You see that green candle on the upcome with that long wick? It rejected the bottom of the support that they found on the way down during that dump. That would have been a quick in and out short for me there because it went directly from the bottom of that support they set to the top of the resistance they set. That right there on the NASDAQ, that's a good 50 to 100 bucks depending on your sizing. That's just how I see the price action. I see them testing the prior ranges from one direction or another and jump in with them after it happens. Really beautiful trading today off those highs, man. I got no complaints. Anybody in chat got complaints other than you're still listening to my dumb ass? We can take a look at Tesla, man. We haven't looked at Tesla in a minute. Tesla hates me. That request from Potion My Bunty. What the fuck does that mean?
What?
What does that even mean? Anyway, yeah, we can take a look at Tesla. Let's see if we got any interesting flow on this bad boy today. Tesla hates me. I don't tend to trade Tesla. We don't get along. I get bullied really bad with Tesla, so I don't fuck with it anymore. But we'll look at it. We can take a little peek-see.
Let's kind of whittle down these filters a little bit because there's so much on these. Okay. The very long dated call. Let's see. I would assume probably short dated that 626.390 call. But yeah, there's just a lot going on. Nothing clear opener. I'm gonna try it like this.
Oh, you're going in raw.
Yeah. Let's just see. Yeah, it's all 0. I want to get rid of the 0 days. They're just so messy. 2 days here. This, yeah, messy.
Tesla tends to be. Those big names with massive market caps and high volume, it does get harder and harder to find crystal clear flow the more size you get in a company. You got to get used to that. Every now and again, something will be glaringly obvious, but it's a lot harder on big names that have a ton of volume to find something crystal squeaky clean.
Yeah, you see most of that bid ask is pretty much split here too. Oh, maybe this guy here, 32 day.
DK, yes sir, that is the 1 minute chart. I scalp on the 1 minute. Yes sir, or ma'am. I guess I don't know. Money. But thanks for coming back. I see your name in the chat every now and again on the episodes, homie. Thanks for chilling with us. But yes, I do scalp the 1 minute chart.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything flow on Tesla. Let's just look at the gamma and see how that looks here. So, 0 days here. So it looks like our kind of big, obviously the 0 day. Hey, there's a little, 410. There's some positive gamma there. We've already kind of moved up $11 on the day, though, so keep that in mind. The Friday expiration here, yeah, there's a lot of positive gamma up there at 430, 435. Your absolute gamma is 450, so I kind of like those two data points right there. And then even that 10-day out one there too. Yeah, 420. Yeah, I didn't see anything flow-wise, but kind of gamma-wise there. I like that 4-day and that 10-day. I almost go 10 days. I don't like the high theta on the contracts, so I like a little time on those weeklies. Will decay.
I'm with you too,
quick,
especially these big names. That price moves so goddamn fast when you get some wiggle.
Yeah, I do like that absolute gamma being at 450 though, and that 10-day one, yeah, that 618, that 420. I like that one there.
Trolling me. I just want to zoom for the
What's
homies.
it doing now?
Well, I tried to zoom and it just straight up closed the window. I'm just gonna stop fucking with it. Oh my god. I am not on it today, folks.
It's a Monday. It's a Monday. But yeah, my read for your Tesla there, I like that kind of 4-day if you're really brave. Otherwise, that 10-day I like, especially that 420 on the 10-day there. Probably pricey on the contracts, but it's
certainly.
And you're right above that support there too, so you're very close to that overall. And nice net call premium today. Put premiums there tailing off.
I do wonder if there's any correlations to be had once SpaceX fully IPOs I wonder, because we've seen in the past when Elon does shit, Tesla reacts to it, even if it's completely and
Yep.
utterly irrelevant. Tesla
Yep.
Bros got something in them that I just don't have. I am curious. I kind of low key expect a lot of retail to get blown the fuck up when it IPOs, because the IPO price is just already insanity.
Yeah,
Insanity. And there's already companies that have like private swaps and shit from years ago at pennies on the dollar compared to what it's trying to IPO at. So if you're an IPO player, I'd be kind of careful with this one at least. It's IPOing much higher than anything ever has before. It's some crazy ass valuations being flung around. I don't know how I feel about that.
I've never been a big IPO trader. I
Me
you know,
neither.
like to let the stock
I wait till it's
price settle for
optionable.
a week. Yep. Yep. Oh god, can you imagine the option pricing on SpaceX when that? Oh boy,
Yeah,
that's gonna
and it's
be.
usually a few days to a week after IPO that something's
Yep.
optionable, and by then a lot of times you've got the rug pull already. You know, yeah.
Yeah.
Can you think of a recent IPO that didn't just shit the bed right after? I can't think of one. I can't think of
Yeah,
one.
it always seems like they tend to go down after that IPO. So, if you're buying shares or something, that's a little catching me sleeping on the camera there. Um, like I typically always seem if you're holding shares for life, that might be a little different, but
Even
I
then,
like to
it's
get that.
scary, man. I would want to
Yeah.
see the reaction
I mean,
regardless.
look at coin. Look at coin.
Yeah,
I
no
don't even know
shit.
if coin's back to the
I
original
don't think
IPO
so.
price.
I don't
Maybe.
think
Come
so.
here.
Max.
You're gonna
Yeah, not
beat
even
me to
fucking
it.
close, bro. Like, not even close. Genuinely not close. It IPO'd back in April 2021. Not even close. Not even close. It's like 50% down almost.
Yeah, and I mean, like, look at
Now,
that here.
granted,
Let
the
me.
Bitcoin run, like you can see these Bitcoin runs in there very cleanly and clearly, of course. But
Yeah.
coin's just another one that's super tied to just crypto in
Look at the
general. Like
insider transactions on this thing too.
sale,
Right when it
sale, sale,
IPO'd,
sale.
sell, sell, sell,
Yeah.
sell, sell. I mean,
And you're gonna see that with, I would say,
like
most of them. You don't even get any buying until almost a full year, over a year later. They start
they
buying it
bought the
up
low.
again,
They bought the low.
and then
They
it's
bought the low
nothing
and
but
they sold the
insider
highs.
sales all the way up. God, I'm not even someone who really buys
That's
into
just
insider transactions all that much, because like a shitload of them are just straight up scheduled. They're
yeah,
gonna happen
yeah.
regardless of what price is or where it's going.
Tax related,
But
so
this,
on.
this, it's just all selling, man. There's nothing else. Look at the sell premium versus buy premium on all time.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
holy fucking shit, dude. 10.6 billion sell premium on all time versus 137 million. That says something to me.
there's a
Wow.
little discrepancy there. You think?
A
Maybe
little
just a little
offset,
bit.
I'd say. A
Just
little.
a little
Yeah,
bit.
be careful with IPOs. But all that to say, not a lot of super crystal clear stuff on Tesla today. I just kind of took us on a little tangent there, wondering what Tesla's going to do with the
That's
IPO of
okay.
SpaceX.
Me
Because
too.
it reacts to dumb shit. Tesla was doing crazy shit when the Twitter sale went through, like just for no reason.
Yeah, man, I miss. Twitter was one of my like stocks that I actually really like trading,
Yeah,
and now I can't. Obviously, can't
yeah,
trade it now.
obviously
I'm like,
can't.
damn
Yeah.
it! It was one of my like favorite
And
stocks
it
to
keeps saying
trade
it's going
to
to be
because
the
it was.
everything app. And yeah, we're streaming our video feed to Twitter. Yeah, it by far and beyond, it's not even close our heaviest viewer base for the show. But there's nowhere to put the
Hey,
goddamn video. So I just leave it on YouTube. There's no other option. You can find it via the link of the post, but that's it. Now, Elon, it'd be really cool if you could go ahead and give us VOD hosting. That'd be dope. Thanks. Everything app. Maybe right now it's just the Some Things app, and that's okay.
hey, they,
Uh,
they put in that cool thing where you can reply now with a video. Did you see that?
Dope. That helps.
So cool, man.
A
I'm like, dude,
720p
what is
video.
this?
It's like-
Oh, I'm just like, can't even stream without OBS on the damn
Oh, real
thing.
quick, real
Like,
quick, real quick. Before we go, no, go back to that. Go back to that page you were just on. Your filter. Galaxy again. Let's see what the Whippets have in store for us today. That's
I
some
mean,
pretty
it's up.
heavy volume. It's up 22% again.
What
Go
was
ahead and change
the?
that to like the 10 day or something. 14 day. because we saw Galaxy coming in a couple episodes ago, and it seems to be doing its shenanigans. Yeah, look at that bounce off the
I'm
24,
trying
dude.
to
Oh my
see if
god.
I have the contract that we looked at too. It was the Galaxy 7235 call. We can go back and revisit that. Let me just
It's
pop that
worth
in
looking
here
at, I
quick.
think, with today's bounce. Was there any news on it?
Was there? Let's just see.
News.
Probably not.
News. 50 minutes ago. Yeah, I know. Its price is up. We can fucking tell, bro. Thanks. That's super helpful news. Guru Focus, whoever the fuck. Nothing new. Just, it's literally, it goes from last week's news of being down 14% to today's news of it being up. I imagine it's directly tied to crypto, right? Is Galaxy Digital another crypto company? Galaxy Digital change present valuation, blah 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 blah. Yep, crypto
So,
indeed is crypto.
so the note I had this on this one was we didn't get a clean read on this flow. We were mixed on it more. It was a potential sell. So again, I mean, look at that. They were at 78. They bottom ticked at 40 cents there on Friday. So I mean, looking at that there, I mean that thing died off real quick though. But I mean now they're trading it too. So it's like hard to. I just want to go back to that original flow here.
I'm still leaning originally BTO, man.
Yeah, I
Like,
think
it's a
it was just
toughie.
because
The
that
implied
IV
volatility
was.
drop is a little concerning for a long read. I just got the
Yeah, it's
vibe. And they're still open during
and
this
that
pump.
spot price dropping too. Like it's
If these stay open to expiration, I would agree short. But man, I don't know. If these go
I
in the
know
money, that
it's
person, if they're short, they're gonna have some fucking problems. They're gonna have some problems if those go in the
yeah,
money if they're short.
just a couple problems. Yeah, that's
Let's keep an
and
eye on that one for an exit to see if there's any profit taking. I'm leaning long despite the implied volatility drop. I don't know. Maybe I'm just dumb. But I just get that
I don't know.
vibe.
I mean,
Because the IV could also be
I'd agree.
dropping by way of the price dropping. Because as those orders fill, the stock price is going down.
Yeah,
It's whipping around a little
it's
bit.
kind of bouncing. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was. I mean, it's why we had a mixed read on that one there.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Not
I kind
everything's
of
gonna
like
be
these
crystal clear.
mixed. Yeah, I like the. I was gonna say I like these mixed reads just to kind of, show you that there is not all flows gonna be good. And I mean, today we only picked out like 2 or 3 decent
Yeah.
pieces of flow.
We got a
There was
couple saved
one
that we'll
more.
follow up on Wednesday.
I want to see how it's doing. We were looking at the Yelps from Friday. I haven't even looked at Yelp today there, but we had the 8/21/27 call. I want to see if it's up. I don't know what Yelp's doing today. Or from last Wednesday maybe. I don't know. What do I have? 6.5. What was Wednesday? What was 6.5 last week? Oh, it was Friday. Jeez, man. Days are all open. Okay, yeah, we haven't really seen anything much on this one yet then. I was just confused because I think it was an open interest one that we caught there. I'm like, why am I only seeing? Okay,
Oh,
yeah, it must have been an
gotcha.
open interest one we caught. How about those lunars, the 9/18/42 calls? I just kind of guessing here. Are we up today? That was a good one from Friday there, but they haven't really moved. They're pretty long dated though.
Yeah, those are
But
pretty out there.
just kind of these were pretty textbook. I think these are the ones that we thought were the best looking ones all weekend. Look at that IV rise on those twice. Spot fills at the ask there. Yeah, those are ones that we'll continue to kind of keep an eye on there. Whew, man.
What a morning! I can probably cut us over to
What
the
a morning.
cams. We missed a couple of good short and long opportunities in this chop, but that's okay. Like I said, we're done. Account A 257, account B 360. We're done scalping for the day. I might not even scalp tomorrow. Maybe I'll save it for the show on Wednesday. We'll see. But damn, man, I don't got any complaints about the morning. Do you?
No, I think that was a good show. It went by quick, man. Already 11 almost.
Yeah, I know. I'll flip us over to this cam. Once again, folks, I'm going to drop a link into the chat. This is where you can see our full stream schedule, including the immensely important office hours stream that will go live at 11:30 Eastern every Wednesday, right after the show. That is where you're going to get basically a quick primer and onboarding sequence for the platform, general options, information, and education. It'll be a lot more concise and helpful from an education stance than our show is. As you saw, we fuck around and interrupt the hell out of each other incessantly and relentlessly. But I think we had a damn good show today. You guys gave us some good flow to look at. We've got a couple of contracts we're saving that we're going to follow up on Wednesday morning show.
Tucker did a great job for once. Look at that, nice and quiet. Wasn't annoying or anything.
He'll be nice and quiet on Wednesday, too. He'll be gone until Friday's show.
Oh, man.
But all that said, homies, I think we're going to get out of your hair. I hope you guys have a great rest of your afternoon, and I hope to see you guys here again Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern. Thanks for kicking it with us, homies. We'll see you next time.
Have a great day, everyone.